Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We are here and we are live, and we have got a big game week ahead of us. It's the last one before we go into another one of those little international breaks. This international break as well, all friendlies, by the way, so we're definitely in a dead zone, probably for the first time this season. But Harry, the co-pilot, the man trades, Mr. Midweek himself, is flying high, and he has taken not only America by storm, but it feels like the whole world, and he has got it all in the cusp of his hands coming into this game week. Harry boy, good to see you. How are you feeling?
Great to see you, mate. Firstly, and yeah, no, it's yeah, nervous, mate. To be fair, woke up a bit nervous today. The fact that the MLS deadline's Saturday definitely sort of like sort of prolongs the nerves, I guess, but in a way keeps me rather steady for the deadline show. Like I'm not having to juggle too many sort of plates, in the next couple of hours or so, because yeah, we have a few comps that close in 2.5 hours or whatever, and then everything else is late deadline slash Saturday. So yeah, that's calming me a little bit, but at the same time, yeah, it's a big weekend, and yeah, I'm just excited for it. Really, really excited. I learned yesterday there's five of us on the rare fifth streak. I think there's like 50 odd in limited. So if anyone's in the chat, let us know if you're on either the fourth, fifth, third, whatever. Because yeah, it is the last week of three X's for MLS. So yeah, no, massive week. There's never not so much there's pressure, but like I've never had a week where like going into it there could be like this much on the line. Like it just feels weird, weirdly good, but yeah, it just feels mad, mate. But yeah, how are you? What's going on?
I'm very good, mate. I'm just finishing up this little tweety thing that's going out. But
There
I
you
have
go.
set
I'll give
myself
it a
up,
retweet now.
Harry, for I'm going for the fifth streak in the sets for the $100.
I saw your tweet earlier. So did you hit the $100? Obviously, right? Yeah.
No, the picture makes it look like I've done that, but no, I'm on for the hundred
Really?
dollars today. Yeah, because I put the
Uh,
team in.
got you. I was gonna say because that's fucking hard going. This the fourth, whatever it is. It's technically the fifth streak, isn't it? Isn't there
Yeah,
like
I-
six streaks? Yeah.
I'll put it up on screen in a second. But this little tweet thing isn't really working for me for some reason, so it's just kind of stopped me in my tracks. Just bear with me a moment. I'll put it up on
Appreciate.
screen
I
now.
was just gonna say appreciate all the love in the chat. We've got Luke, Liam, Michael, Hainsey, Sorare, Burrow, Glenn Hoddle, Thomas Ronyon, Sorare
All the
contenders
heroes.
in there. Mikey Baston. Big international break for Wales. That's a good point, Lee. I know Quinny just said they're all friendlies. There's definitely not all friendlies going on.
Oh,
We've got a ticket to the
yeah.
World Cup, hopefully. We're sadly not as good as the Scots. So yeah, we have to really work for our ticket to the World Cup this time round.
How could I
Hainsey says
forget?
Chwarae Teg. We've got a fellow Welshman in the building, Quinny, that speaks Welsh.
Uh-oh.
Chwarae
There's an
Teg means
outbreak.
fair play, Harry, is what we've got going on there. Um,
But yeah, so
yeah,
I've got to this
go on.
one where this is where you get the $100. There's only 2 days left of this, and then it ends.
Ooh,
So it
nice.
is like if you're up here, you're fighting. If not, maybe a bit of a marathon on the go here. But Sociedad play Friday night, so I put a Friday night team out just to
Okay.
try and get it tonight.
Hmm.
And I don't think I would include any of these in like a weekend set team anyway, because they're not really that great. I've got other guys. 420 points. I don't think it's that bad.
Oh, it's been reduced, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, okay.
so that could be fun.
So,
And if I hit that tonight or even Saturday, then it's 460 to scoop
and
the
what was it
Pakistan.
before? 480.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's not impossible as well. I think it is. Well, I don't want to say it's impossible because I don't think anyone's actually done it. But um, I mean, you've got a hell of a chance. You've got four shots at the first one, right? So like
yeah.
tonight, and then have you got a Saturday team sort of booked in?
Nah, not really. I just again, I don't find the UX or whatever you call it for it that great to kind of fish through because the system. And I don't want to waste too much time on this. Sorry, 'cause we do have a lot to get through today. But
Hmm.
it rewards you for keeping doublers of everyone. Because if you've got
Okay.
like 500 La Liga cards, you'll get some gems or something, and that includes duplicates. Those types of achievements. So you
Hmm.
end up like trying to figure out who the hell you've got when they're playing. Look at this. It's a nightmare. You know.
Is there a way to filter those lower projections out?
Yeah, you can filter the more projection guys out to 80%, but there's a lot of
But nothing
70%.
less.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's quite tricky. That I don't know if I like that.
Mhm.
You should be able to scale it like you can on the normal ones. Like scale out up to 55 or 65, whatever you fancy.
You can filter to next 24 hours. But
Okay.
and depends on time of day. It's not perfect, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, I probably got other players running over the weekend, but I just knew all these guys were Friday. Let's just throw that at it.
I mean, yeah, I think if you've got four chances this weekend to hit that, well, I guess you've got to hit both this weekend, haven't you? So you've got, if you've got Friday plays, you have to really go for it, I'd say. Glenn's asking what you're doing with your gems, Quinny.
I'm keeping them. So I've just got like 30 or
Ooh.
40 gems from this little bit of the streak I've did so far.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're about to go into international break. These sets end in 2 days. Sorare announced it's called Starry Night or something like that.
I
The
saw something about that, yeah.
the new set. So we'll probably have that to mess about with in terms of the daily grind for like 2 weeks, and I'll probably spend all those gems on that so that try and have another bash at it. See how we get
Why not?
on. But
Yeah.
definitely, well, I don't know. Actually, if I got to see if I got to the last streak and it was like you could buy like
Yeah,
a super pack of stars that play today,
yeah.
I could be
Might have
tempted into
to.
spending it. Yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah,
open to like running for it. But yeah, if I'm stuck on this 100, then I'll just make sure I get that. Try and keep the gems. But the bag of sands there, we'll
100%.
be going for it.
100%, mate. No, fair play to you.
And the matchups tab's normally where we get the show rocking and rolling rather than sets. But a wee bit of a top two throwback. But outside of that, it's a bit of a pick and mix, Harry boy. Bayern and Barca reigning supreme at home.
Yeah, it is a bit of a pick and mix, mate. Lons flying quite high. I think they actually play tonight, Quinn. I don't know whether you've got any Lons players
No,
in your sets, but they're at home to Angers. As
on
we can see,
sets, not yet.
they 80% on. Barca Bayern, as we mentioned, both played midweek. Como's up there, obviously, if you want a cheeky little, what's his name, Butez, or I don't know, maybe a little Batterino cameo for you in maybe a classic lineups. But yeah, other than that, we've got Sporting away, played midweek. Rangers at home to Aberdeen's pretty high up for Challenger. Club Bruges at home to Mechelen, but I think the Lord is a little bit dodgy. I think he could be injured. Krasnodar's
Oh,
started off pretty well since the restart of Russia. Benfica at home to Vitoria, who are not terrible to be fair, but still big win percentage for them. Juve at home. We've got the Sheffield Wednesday opposition, always flying high in the top at least 15. Hull are the chosen team this week. PSG away to Nice should be a battering to be fair. Zagreb away to Lokomotiva, little derby there. AC Milan at home. Yeah, it's not vintage. There's a lot of sort of classic, like classic only teams up there.
mm.
Gets a bit bleak in the 60s maybe. Lokomotiv Moscow, Roma at home.
PSV
Krugozor, you've got
Telstar.
PSV Telstar, yeah. So it's a tricky one. I'm on the fifth streak this weekend in Eredivisie, and you know how like serious I've been taking my Eredivisie stuff, and yeah, it's just a nightmare. Like we literally just got information then the Joey Veerman's still dodgy for this weekend. So I don't know whether you knew, but he DMP'd last week, and I
Yeah.
still managed to hit the fourth, which was like two of my best teams were dead. Like my both D1s were dead. Luckily, my third team, or maybe it was my fourth team, managed to clutch in. But yeah, PSV being the best win percentage away doesn't really, normally we like to see those high win percentages in the Eredivisie, but yeah, the fact that starting off at 70 and away and no Joey Veerman is a tricky one. Yeah, I could skip it. But if PSV win this game, they win the league, and obviously then we've got
Ooh.
international break. If Feyenoord lose, I think it is something like that. So Feyenoord play Ajax. A couple things have to happen, but yeah, it's a tricky one. So I'm just going to go for it. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just going to go for it. Whatever happens, happens. As you can see, their Sparta are pretty high as well, though, at home to Volendam. You've got Celtic there away to Dundee. Massive game for them. Fulham are flying high in the Prem. Southampton there in the Champ. And we get to a little bit of sneaky MLS stuff. So, there is matchups to be had, I guess. But I don't know. It's definitely not. It's not a vintage match odds matchup screen, I wouldn't say, but I think it's fun enough. Like if you're on a big streak,
Question
I
mark.
don't think it's definite. I just saw Rick just tweeted. He said, "Big Ricardo." What did he say? Sorry for the. I need to translate it. Joey v, at PSV, there are still a few doubtful cases heading into the Telstar match. Joey Veerman is one of them. Wanner and Mauro too. Till has trained with the team all week, so Till looks to be available. That doesn't change anything for us. But yeah, Joey's doubtful, so maybe he sneaks into one team for me. But I just can't see me risking two. Never mind, maybe even one. But yeah, should we just get into some lineups, Quinny? We were going to do Belgium and Eredivisie first, wasn't it? I think that was on the
Yeah.
cards. Come on then, let's blitz through Belgium
I've heard a
and
lot of
work
people
our way
chatting
in.
about like you're saying
Go
there
on.
about missing streaks out and stuff, and
It's been
especially on the
terrible.
cusp of an international break for like 2 weeks or whatever. It's a
I
it's
don't
a
know if I can
tough
do
one.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because
they'll
you know it's
come
like the
back.
first game week
PSV have
after
won
the
the league.
internationals as well. It's weird because of the
Yeah, they're
travel
not
and other
exactly.
stuff. You know.
That's what worries me even more. So it's like I think I've just got to take it now. Like I'm going into it thinking it is what it is. I didn't expect to hit the fourth because of the Joey stuff. So the fact that I'm even here, I'm a bit like sod it. Like it is what it is. I'm quite happy to go down with the ship if it happens. But yeah, I can't wait 2 weeks plus. Like you said, it's just weird the first game after internationals.
Big time.
You know. Um, Genk away to La Louvière. Genk played yesterday, I believe, against Freiburg away. Got battered like 4-5-1. My boy Yuito Suzuki nearly had 100, which was nice to see for him. But back in league action for them this week. Standard Liège at home to Westerlo. Haspelat's been in some fine form. Teddy Twayman may be back, it seems. 60% on in the 10. Nice to see.
Nice.
Dender at home to Ghent. Liam says, I'm going for the fourth Prem streak this weekend, not waiting until next Prem game week being mid-April. Wow, that's nuts. Is that right? So that's like a month of no Prem. I know we've got an international break, which, doesn't help, but is that right? No Prem until mid-April. Jesus. That
Indeed.
feels lengthy. Club Brugge at home to Mechelen. Yeah, what is happening with the Lords? Van Aken was ill last week. Okay. Van Aken stayed in the dressing room at halftime due to an injury. Got just before halftime. Might be some precaution. It seemed to be his hip. Severity is unknown. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't fill me with confidence, if I'm being honest.
No, we wouldn't.
Um, FA Cup straight after the internationals. Fair enough.
Yeah, maybe wee bits of that going around other countries.
And then Anderlecht at home to Cercle Bruges, 53% win percentage. Lasana, the Belgian Rodri, back in action. Tristan de Graaf's been scoring pretty well. I don't even know if he's Belgian, to be fair, but I know he's playing in Belgium. Nathan De Cat might be getting it might be out or not, but he might be getting like a Belgium national team call up at like 17.
Wow, that'd be
He's
cool.
been left. He's been left out of the 18s team, and maybe he's going to the 21s, but I think they're trying to cap him or something.
That'd be a
Keep
good
an eye
move for
on that
them.
one. Yeah, this is a big one. Say Trudence versus USG. Top of the table clash. Big game. Win percentages are
Yep.
favouring the USG boys, but you never know with two good teams like that. And then Zolta versus Charleroi. Patrick Fluke, Tetrawi, Lewin Blum. Great name.
What'd you call me? Drum-dum-tsh.
And that is the Belgium completed. Let me give this a little refresh just in case we've got any super up-to-date Eredivisie news, and we don't. Okay, first game, NEC versus Herenveen. Hoping there's goals in this for both sides, actually. Yeah, NEC beat PSV last week in the league after beating them in the cup. So they'll be, flying high. Jasper Sillison in goal, it seems. Everything else pretty standard for them. Herenveen were the ones that helped me hit the streak last week. Who did they beat? They beat somebody not great, maybe Heracles or something.
Mm.
Yeah, some nice scores came from that. Groningen play AZ, who played last night. I think Troy Parrott got a couple of DAs. They battered like Slavia Prague or something, like 4-1 away. A big
Nice.
win. And yeah, they play Groningen, who are nice and rested, I guess. No Vyson in goal, though. Keep an eye on that. Tygo Land in the building. Feyenoord versus Ajax. Massive game for both tough to see where this goes. Ajax have looked good recently, so I don't know. The fact that they've got a final that favoured is a bit worrying, honestly. I think. Yeah, I just don't know if I can trust it too much.
These
But
Dutch
yeah,
teams have been so tough to rely on in these games, haven't they?
big time. Oh, it's the FA Cup, then Champions League for some. That's mad. Yeah, that is nuts. Fortuna at home to FC20, who've I mentioned every week, but last couple of weeks have been really, really good. Showing some great form. Ooh, Noah, what's his name? Uh, What's the number 10 called? He used to play for PSV.
Hatton?
Ihatron, yeah. I wonder what happened with him.
Oh no, it's not happened again, has it?
He's gone AWOL again.
Oh,
He's gone off. He's gone off the Susan Boyle. What's Susan Boyle up to these days, Quinny? What do you reckon?
I don't know. I think she's got a season ticket for Celtic.
She's in the box with you, aren't she?
Yeah, that's it. Me and Susie in the
Bored,
box.
bored in.
Don't start that again.
Right, Sparta Rotterdam versus FC Volendam. That's kind of a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a
Rotterdam and
sort of local
Volendam.
exercise, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Sparta Rotterdam versus Volendam. Sparta Rotterdam versus Volendam.
All the dams. I guess Volendam must be in. We did this before. They have to be in Amsterdam, don't they? Oh, actually, maybe they're not. Wasn't there
Yeah.
someone that searched it for us? Can't remember.
I think yes. It was just outside. Maybe that rings a
Yeah,
bell.
just
Yeah,
just outside definitely rings a bell.
we were chatting about somebody flying there, weren't we, or something?
Yeah, it was something to do with fucking Remco Pasveer, wasn't it? Because,
Yeah.
or maybe it was Heracles we were talking about. Actually, I don't know.
Oh, might be
It was
Heracles. But
something to do with that. I'm sure of it. But yeah, Remco on his private plane, wasn't it? Flying down for his first clean sheet. But yeah, I've brought in a Joel Drommel this week personally with this Marvin Young as a little defensive stack. I don't own like a PSV keeper or anything, so on paper I think this is one of the better chances for a nice little clean sheet this weekend. Hopefully, although Sparta actually have been not great of late, but it's
yeah,
Volendam, so surely there's a clean sheet there somewhere. And then the best matchup on paper is the PSV away to Telstar game. This hasn't been updated, but yeah, we know Joey's questionable as big Riff, I think his name is Rick. Yeah, I think it's Rick. Rick just said Dennis Mann maybe loses his spot to Driouech. Other than that, I think it's pretty full strength outside of Nomaro and Dest. But yeah, Telstar. I say every week, Telstar are weird. I don't know. They might score a couple here, but end up losing 5-2 or something. It's it's
not to be ruled out, is it?
not really. No, they're just a bag of madness, as Tony Watt would like to say. You know.
Yeah, it's a good
This one's
Tonyism.
interesting though. Tonyism. Pexwola versus Nak Breda. Breda got battered last week. Who did they play? Can't remember. It was Go Ahead. Got battered by Go Ahead. They play Pexwola this week. Who aren't as good, I wouldn't say, but still could give them a little bit of a beating maybe. Yeah, not looking good for the Breda boys. Sadly for them. And then Utrecht versus Go Ahead. Yeah, massive. I think they battered any Breda last week, 5 or 6-0. But they face a tough Utrecht side, so yeah, definitely no gimme for either team. But they're good defensively, I think, Utrecht. So I don't foresee Go Ahead going nuts with the goals, but you never know. And then we do
Yeah,
have a Friday night Remco Pasveer game. Heracles versus Excelsior. Van Gassel on to score 100. Would never doubt it. And
never.
then, yeah, never, ever, ever. Really tight, like bottom of the table sort of clash, although Excelsior have maybe picked up a few more points over the course of the season than Heracles. But yeah, away, you just never know. But that is tonight. So yeah, watch out for the old Friday curse. And then, should we move into Challenger, Quinny?
Charlie, yeah, let's do it.
Chally, yeah. Okay, we'll start with Austria. I think this is the last round before. Oh, I could be wrong actually. This might be no. We're already in. Are we in not playoffs? What they call it? Like the split? Is there a split in Austria?
I think so. I think there's a
Yeah,
split.
I think there is a split
I'm
as well.
fairly certain there is.
Um, but yeah, Austria, Vienna, and Hartberg on screen. Lite Suk. Rapid at home to Lask. Oh, Liam King is in Morocco. Wow.
He's there. Is he on peacekeeper duties?
Peacekeeper. Oh, Neil's
You've
got a
seen
good
Senegal have
question.
moved the trophy into a military base.
Yeah, what happened? So they've got the win, like they didn't get the win, and now they've got the win, or the opposite way around?
Yeah, so Senegal won it on the pitch, right?
Mm,
But a dodgy
yeah.
penalty decision happened, and Senegal players left the game, and then Mane had to pull them all out. Ended up winning on penalties, yada yada, whatever. And
Okay.
anyway, so they've went to the rule book and they've went, we'll use forfeited the game at that point because he's left the pitch.
Oh. Yeah,
2 months
yeah.
later, this is obviously. So the winners are actually Morocco, not Senegal. That's the way. That's what
and
they're saying.
and the trophy's in a military base in Senegal, so they're like, come
Senegal,
and get
yeah,
it,
and
basically. Yeah.
everyone's like supporting all the Senegalese, and rightfully so. You know, everyone's kind of retweeting, like all the other countries are retweeting pictures of Senegal players with medals, and they're like hamming Morocco up, you know, and
That's
it's
amazing.
it's, it's been a bit mental.
That can only happen in the AFCON, couldn't it?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Like that is just AFCON all over, and I absolutely am here for it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely
Liam King's there
incredible.
to. He's maybe behind enemy lines or he's undercover or something.
Yeah, Neil's got a good question here, Quinny. What is your advice on using XP? I can never work out whether saving it or spending 5k except to level up the later levels is worth it, or leveling up multiple lower levels is the way. I always try. I mean, personally, I always try and go with like where I'm focusing on, like lineup wise, league wise. Like if I'm going for the fifth streak in Eredivisie this weekend, well, you betcha I'm going to try and do everything I can to level up the players who are potentially going to hit me the fifth streak this weekend. Same if I'm in the MLS or wherever that is. But yeah, I mean, you should never, if you're in high divisions, don't ever expect to win a division with low level cards because someone's probably going to have the same, if not like a very similar lineup to you with just way better XP. Like it's almost impossible. Like everything that we saw it midweek with all the sporting collection. Like it's just an XP fest for the most part. Now, of course, that doesn't matter for streaks, but of course it does matter because more points equals just getting more streaks, effectively, or gives you a better chance. So I'm never going into lineups. I'm never playing a card in a lineup without like at least a couple of levels of XP, if possible. Like I'm never gonna leave XP on the like a player's XP on the table, like ever. So
Yeah,
if you've got XP, it should be spent, is what I'm getting at. But then at the same time, the question is, well, yeah, do you level up loads of lower guys or one big guy? Again, it all depends on what are you going for this weekend. Like, is there a priority in there? Are you on a fifth streak? Are you on a third streak somewhere that could do with that? I put all my energy there, if that makes any sense.
for the most part of the season, I've kind of focused on my top one or two teams. So after I've built them, I kind of go back and then go, can I XP any of those guys up so that
Hmm.
lineup, like kind of like you're saying, just punches as hard as possible. But since MLS has came out, like I'm just being like military on all my NYC guys. I'm not even looking at challenger guys anymore or anything
Got
else.
you.
And I'm
Yeah,
just all the guys that get used, just pump them all until I run out of XP. And then, yeah, there'll be tougher decisions when they get into the higher levels. Maybe that's where you're at right now. But I think if that's the case, yeah, what's your best lineup? And can any of them be boosted? Even if it's one guy and it takes all your XP, that's your best lineup. And how many times, Harry, is your best lineup being a point away, 3 points away, whatever?
all the time. Yeah,
Yeah. So always boost the best team is the first thing I think for that.
definitely. Especially if they're big player, like if you've got like a Messi or something that needs a couple thousand, it's probably worth just getting it on him, than spending it on a couple lower level guys that like you want to just play it on guys you play, basically. Like don't
Mhm.
bother giving it to guys
Totally.
that don't play. I know that might be obvious, but yeah, don't waste it on players that aren't ever going to get into your sides.
You can't
Yeah,
buy XP, and it's like those
right,
be guys where you just there's just 200. I'll just put them all on at level one, and you never use
yeah,
them. Like
right,
you will regret that at some point when you're like, wish I could just boost that captain up or whatever.
100%. It's like me with the MLS this weekend. I've been scrambling, trying to win wheel spins and everything to try and just farm as much XP as possible, which isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. I probably got a couple foul from it, but it does, it makes a world of difference. If I'm buying cards this week, I can only get them to level 2 or 3 anyway, right? Because of the cooldown. So it's only so much you can do sometimes if you're under like a time constraint of like a streak this weekend and whatever. Lid saying we've got shadow banned. Well, he's implying maybe we got shadow banned. He didn't
How's
get a
that?
notification that we started 25 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there can't be enough likes on the stream, Quinny. How many likes have we got? Do we know?
Oh, that might be a part of it, by the way.
That could be it.
Oh, yeah, not enough. We're at like 33.
That's why then.
But we are early. We're meant to start now, so we've got a wee bit of a head
True.
start. So
yeah. Good point.
the first magic number we've got to get to is 67. So we've got to run up there quickly. And then 88 and 100 and all onwards and upwards. Because as you guys know, Sorare only control the internet. And we need to have these streaks happen. And if we're opening up any packs and crap, we need to get all that little bit of luck that we can. It's the last weekend for so much stuff.
100%.
So yeah, do yourself a favour, support the show, smash the like button on arrival.
Look at this. Runner, son versus Etienne Green this week.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Katarski's been
Zanka.
dropped. Big Zanka's back. Okay, now that's a has-beens, isn't it? El Yanusi, Delaney, Zanka. Wow. Still doing
Real
it.
Coco old enough to be a has-been yet?
Well, according to his passport, no. But you just never know, you know. Who was the famous? There's been a few famous. Kanu was one, wasn't he? Everyone had the conspiracy that Kanu was a little bit older than maybe what his passport said. I think at one
Yeah,
point.
because he was like 19 and he looked like Bernie Mac, you know.
What a player, though. What a player. I loved Kanu. Kanu was class.
Yeah. Kanu was like the first kind of guy I remember that was like pure like feet techers, you know, like for a big guy.
Yeah.
Absolute feat of dreams, you know, wasn't just a big
Really
striker
good
guy.
feet, didn't he?
Wild, some of the goals he used to score.
100%.
Like maybe in the kind of Berbatov type, you know, like that kind of.
Yeah. I don't want to say it, but I do want to say it. But like Peter Crouch kind of had really good feet for a tall guy. But obviously Kanu wasn't as tall as that, but he was still very tall, you know.
Yeah.
But that type of they're just really silky.
I can't remember what it was now, but Kanu's definitely scored some goals. I remember, wow, he is like the best striker in the world right now. Like back then, you know, I remember watching at the time. Can't remember what they were right now. I feel the same about Adebayor, by the way, now that we're talking about this. Like, see,
I was going to mention him. I was. Yeah.
Arsenal had some conveyor belt, man, for a bit.
I loved Adebayor. I thought he was class.
Yeah.
Really good player.
Freddie
Adu, Zhao is saying that's a good shout.
Berba? What's wrong with Berba? I know he's not as big as some of these guys we're chatting about, but in terms of that wild magic.
Like 6 foot, yeah.
Yeah, and he wasn't quick, you know, it was that kind of like unexpected magic factor, you know.
Berba probably had the best feet of all, if we're being honest. Yeah. Like him, Birdcat, like if we're talking like those silky strikers that aren't like actual nines, but kind of are nines.
And it's like the surprise element that they give you because they don't like, wow, that guy did that. You know, they've got that about them.
Have you seen Berba on Instagram? Like how
he's wild, man.
Yeah, with the punch bag. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Seen the punch bag one? Have you seen the big wall he's got in his garden?
No, but I can imagine.
So he's got a big like white wall in his garden, and it's got a bit of a hill in front. It's not even a hill, you know. It's like maybe 2 feet of sloped grass.
Yeah,
and he's like doing one-touch wallsy, basically keepy ups, and it's like different surfaces and all that, and like you know, it's just bouncing off this or bouncing off that, and
that's class.
And it's the same kind of vibe as that punch bag video where he's just like, you know,
100%.
You don't need to buy cones and hurdles and stuff, you know. It's just kind of
you just need a ball in the wall sometimes, you know. Like it is actually as simple as that. Luke saying Berba was miles better than Kanu. Yeah, he probably was, but like that wasn't what we weren't saying, was it?
I don't think Berba's better than Kanu, yeah, but miles.
Not miles, no. I'd say like meters, you know.
Yeah, meters. I'd give him meters.
Yeah. Graham just said he watched my MLS video. I appreciate that, Graham. I really do.
It was good. Mate. I was telling Harry that this morning. I very much enjoyed the morning premiere of a wee bit of lineup building.
Might make that a little feature, to be fair.
Berbaz can't. And I'm like, yeah, he's got that personality swagger to him too. I was actually listening to a short today that came on for, I can't remember who it was for, but it was Ned Manua talking about playing against Zlatan when he was at RSL. So Ned Manua used to play for like QPR, came through at City and stuff like that. So Premier League type guy. For some of you that maybe don't know him, he's a pundit now. And obviously RSL, not a great team, but he was talking about how him and Berba got in, not him and Berba, him and Zlatan got into a bit of a thing. And then, like, after the altercation, like the foul, like, I think Berba just like I keep saying Berba, Zlatan just like decked him. And then I knew I expected him to be like, oh, sorry, mate, fair play and all that, keep going. But then Zlatan got heavy wide with him and was like just absolutely chat banging him, and wound him up in the game. And then Zlatan ended up scoring the winner. Anyway, the story goes on that next time they play him, Ned Manu's been working himself up. Like, this is the biggest game of my life. Like, me versus Zlatan. It's going to be a mad thing. And he said the whole game, Zlatan was just paying him compliments. Like, oh, that was a good touch, mate. Or, oh, you did well there, pal. And, it just fucked him.
That's so funny. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's I've heard Anua mention something about like going into the changing rooms and getting his shirt off. Is there not another version not another version, but like I'm sure he mentioned something about playing in the MLS against last stole. Well,
definitely not enough likes today. In that story, it does say, like, after the game where he's like having confrontation with him, he comes into the changing room and he says to him, "Have you calmed down yet?" And then he just flies off the handle, like, and there's a picture of like his teammates holding him back, in the changing room. Zlatan's just standing there, cool as a cucumber, obviously. So maybe that's it. Maybe the short, maybe there's a longer version. It was a short I seen, so it was like 50 seconds,
Yeah.
Maybe the short.
Have I lost my screen share?
Oh, sorry, I just haven't put it back up.
No, you're good. I was just didn't know if I lost privileges. I was gonna say Zlatan was like if we're being honest, the OG Aura Maxer, right?
Who was the OG Maxer? Sorry?
Like, Zlatan is probably the OG Aura Maxer. He has to be.
Yeah. Totally.
Cantona may be up there as well, if we're being honest, right? Or like a Zidane. But surely Ibra maybe just edges them.
Ibra totally edges people on aura farming and maxing, because he's for as long as anyone's been aware of him, he's referred to himself in the third person.
Yeah, that's true.
Even since he was like 17. You know what I mean?
Zlatan doesn't go on trial with Arsenal and stuff,
So it's not as if he got good and then became Billy Big Boss. He's always been Zlatan, in his head.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But
imagine if he was a streamer these days, Zlatan. How funny would that be? He would break the internet, I think.
Yeah, he could do. He'd have some good stories as well.
Oh, he'd have
Zlatan's a legend.
Tim says, how do you guys make the Excel format? Excel format for what, Tim?
Yeah.
I don't use Excel, really.
Bednar
tried to. Oh,
Bednar, yeah. Bednar did try it. Yeah, he definitely did try it, didn't he? I'm going to win the Ballon d'Or and all that.
And then you could probably say Mourinho has to be the best Aura Max in manager, I would say.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I think he's up there.
I think Mourinho's 100% right up there in the conversation. But the other faces that sprung into my head were Simeone and Ancelotti. For like, I don't know.
Yeah, Ancelotti's up there. I'll give you that.
Simeone's always wearing all black. He's always wearing all black. He's always pure villain, pure baddie to the core every game, whether they're playing bottom of the league or Champions League or whatever,
He is dapper, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like the baddie gangster, the anti-hero that you want to win. He's like that kind of guy, where he does all this bad stuff that football fans should hate, but not everyone likes him, but I'd say enough people do, but it's, I think he's in the chat.
Ancelotti or Mourinho, yeah.
Ancelotti's just got that. Ancelotti's got that proper Don. Someone say Pardew.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell, that's amazing. We'll leave Celtic till last.
Flick's got a good bit of aura about him in his own way.
Who's that? Sorry,
Hansi Flick,
Hansi Flick. Yeah, there is a bit of aura.
like just conquered with Bayern and then chills
Luis
out, goes to
Enrique,
Barca.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think Luis Enrique has like gained manager aura since PSG, but before PSG was kind of nothing. Like Roma didn't do great. I think he had the Barca gig for a while, didn't do great.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in the post Pep era. That's all right, I think.
Does Pep have aura?
Yeah, Pep's just got Pep kind of has it, doesn't he? Feels like
Yeah.
he's kind of. I think he's been in the Prem for so long, he's kind of became normal. If you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like
It's normalized aura.
you hear from him all the time. He talks all the time. The games are on the TV all the time. Whereas when he was at Bayern and Barca, it's still a lot of that, but it's not every day. So there's maybe a wee bit of that going on with Pep, where he's just a bit too available, maybe.
Yeah, no, I completely.
Klopp. Yeah, Klopp's a great shout. Klopp has
Klopp's
pure
up
aura.
there. Yeah, yeah, there is Klopp aura for sure.
Zidane is Zidane's like a football angel or something like that, or like that divine presence of football, like
and he
he
says
has to
nothing.
be around people. Yeah.
And he just things happen, like
Uh-huh.
literally, like there is that sort of divine intervention element to him.
3 Champions Leagues in a row. You know what I mean?
But yeah, if he wasn't French though, I do like if he was Welsh, like let's just call it Bale. Like it just ain't the same, is it? Like there is something to the Zidane. There has to be. Like I'm not like if he was Italian, like there's certain countries that I go, yeah, like he is just aura maxing to the absolute.
Yeah.
But like if he was British, like let's be honest, like we wouldn't be in as much awe. I wouldn't say anyway.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, I would agree. If it was British, he would be different. And again, you can't say personalities totally translate or whatever, but you think about every English retired player. No one is as, except for maybe Beckham, but Beckham's not really the same type of thing. But none of them are like that. They could say nothing and be cool. They could,
Right.
they all have to speak.
The only one is probably Scholes. I know there's like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's in the Zidane but like there is something to Scholes where like he doesn't speak much, but when he
If
does
an
speak,
English
it's
player
kind of
was to be Zidane as a manager, it would be Scholes.
yeah, it kind of would be Scholes, I think.
Just make them play football Monday to Friday and then just go and win. Like
Yeah, just crossbar challenge all day.
Yeah.
Newcastle assistant, that's hilarious. Fucking what's his name? He kills
Tisdale.
me. He does. Yeah, Tisdale kills me. He's
No, not
amazing.
Tisdale. No, Tisdale was the Celtic guy. It's something begins with a T or something like
It
that.
is it's similar to what you're saying. Really similar, if not the same.
Jason
Tyndall. It's Tyndall.
Tyndall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Bit more
He is
suave.
like he's right up there with Senior as like the David Brent figure, isn't he? Of the league.
100%. Nothing more aura than Ancelotti chewing his gum nonchalantly while there's absolute chaos on the pitch. Yeah, I think Ancelotti's he's just so high up on the list. I think he's actually higher than Mourinho for me now, looking at it quite comfortably as well.
Ancelotti is my greatest of all time manager. I think I'm a big Mourinho fan, but for me, Ancelotti's like the guy. Especially see if he wins the World Cup with Brazil, he's got the fakest. He's got the fakest career in the world, like.
Like imagine the size of that cigar if Brazil win it.
Aye,
it's gonna be in the
wild.
favelas, and everyone's just you got Adriano with all his gang members just lifting.
Yeah.
You know what's the big like statue in? Have you seen
Big
it?
Jesus,
Like,
Christ
big Jesus
the Redeemer.
Yeah, they might actually rip that down and put Ancelotti up there.
Put an Ancelotti next to him, or give it an Ancelotti eyebrow.
Ooh, with a cigar.
Yeah, with a cigar in one of the hands.
That'd be fucking unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is an element of like, if you've got this aura, like you just say less. Like there's just like for me, Simeone says too much to have too much aura, if that makes sense, or like his emotions take over him too much. Where Ancelotti is able to be quite zen in scenarios where there is just absolute chaos. And I think that is a big element of aura farming. You have to be calm
Chill.
and yeah,
Yeah, Simeone's not got chill.
that's the thing. That's the only thing that lets him down for me.
Hervé Renard is a top shout. Do you know Hervé Renard?
It, no, I'll be honest, I don't.
He's like a French guy, and he's like been the manager of like Cameroon, Nigeria, Egypt. He's like been around all the African teams, and I think he's been the women's coach. But he's like handsome AF Frenchman with a tan, and
Beautiful.
he's always got a white shirt with a big collar, and the first four buttons are undone. You know,
Love it. Yeah.
I'll go and get a picture of him. He's a handsome
Yeah,
man.
I love that. Yeah, the French do have a way with looks. I will give them that. Can't deny that. Oh yeah.
There's a good one. Big
Yeah,
hair.
it's beautiful. Beautiful. He is aura maxing.
Yeah.
100%.
Saudi Arabia, man. Yeah, he's just been around all those countries for ages.
Yeah,
You know. Big hair for now.
Yeah, I
That's
like
a great
that.
shout for aura managing.
Aura maxing. Louis Van Gaal. That's a kind of a funny one. I don't mind it.
Yeah, Van Hal's got that like maybe not quite Fergie, but that head teacher
Yeah.
kind of
like
authoritarian.
stern. Yeah,
Like boss, do not cross him or he'll you're dead.
100%. I know we haven't really said much on the Scottish stuff, but Rangers on screen against Aberdeen. Best matchup on paper of the game week, I think, in Scotland. Just above
St Mirren
Hearts, I
manager is
think.
now in charge of Aberdeen, so maybe a wee bit of an unknown.
Yeah. I've put
Bernard's
Tav
one
in
too.
one of my teams. Trapattoni, that's a funny one.
Yeah,
Bernard has
Trapattoni's
won
a good
2
one.
AFCONs. That is impressive, by the way.
Yeah, that is.
Very impressive. Like he's just doing like side quests, like like no one knows he's doing these things, but they've just been done, you know. And then like at the end of his deathbed, he just goes, "I got 2 AFCONs. I've got a fucking Saudi Cup and whatever." And everyone's like, "Fucking hell, fair play." Like you have been doing a little bit, but like it wasn't mainstream. Is kind of how I feel about that.
Yeah. Good shout.
And then we'll end on the hoops away to Dundee United. What do you
Now this
think?
is dodgy, by the way, really dodgy, because McGregor's pictured in training, AJ's pictured in training.
Ooh.
I can't find any pictures of Julian Araujo, neither can anyone else. Julian Araujo's not been called up for Mexico. He also missed the game last week.
Yeah.
So fearful for that. Yeah, does McGregor go straight back in? Does Trusty come straight back in? Ben Arthur has been, by the way, winning a lot of fans over. He looks like a real prospect. Watch out, Brentford, when he goes back to you. So, yeah, some dodgy picks here, but Dundee United don't score many goals. They did beat us when we had Wilfred Nancy, so there's a wee bit of a score to settle there. And in theory, Celtic, if Dundee beat Hearts, Celtic win, we could go top of the league before the international break. If Hearts and Dundee draw, we would need to spank Dundee United to get the goal difference, but we could also finish top with Hearts drawing potentially. So this is a big game. Big game for the recovery run up the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's no gimme, but like you said, if some of these players are coming back, McGregor's and stuff, yeah, you've got to fancy him, haven't you? I don't think Dundee are up to too much, are they? I know they beat you, but like that was Nancy vibes, and yeah, I
I think Johnny
fancy
Kenny
it,
missed
though.
4 sitters in that game as well.
Yeah, I do remember it was it wasn't great viewing, but no, I fancy you there. I think there could be some big scores, T&Es. There could be some really big scores there if they keep the clean sheet. Portugal, no Turkey this weekend, Quinny.
No Turks. Yep.
No, they played
They played
midweek.
midweek.
Should we go straight into MLS?
Yeah, let's do MLS.
Come on then. So massive week in MLS. Obviously, a lot of teams did play midweek. I'm talking LAFC. Cincinnati played last night against Tigres, lost 4-5-1. San
Galaxy.
Diego played on the Galaxy. San
Yeah,
Diego, Vancouver, Seattle, Inter Miami, and Nashville. Nashville edged Miami out with an away goal. So yeah, lots of sort of. I say lots. I'm hoping. I'm sort of hoping there's not as much crazy rotation as there was last week because we do have, like we've already mentioned, the international break on the horizon. So surely there isn't going to be, nuts, yeah, rotations to where it just makes it almost impossible to hit streaks. And I don't know. I just don't foresee it personally. What's your thoughts on that, Quinny?
It's tough this time of year. MLS is unpredictable at the best of times, so I am hesitant to. Oh,
Bugs, have we?
yeah, we've got bugs in the system. Now, we've been all right with Streamlabs. I know they were very buggy with Laird, but
Yeah.
it feels now that he's moved on, they've passed his bugs on to me. Maybe is that what's happened?
Yeah.
I was going to say, so yeah, I'm always a bit hesitant to really predict much with MLS beyond what I'm absolutely certain on.
Mm-hmm.
But Eli Sanchez, former club, Facundo Torres is hitting some good scores at Austin.
Yeah.
And you're a Stuver guy. That defense isn't bad.
No. No, Austin are sneaky. They just went and scored away to whoever it was last week. I did RSL, and I didn't really expect them to. Yeah, they've got quality. Like it's definitely no gimme this.
Mm-hmm.
There 2 seconds. My old man's ringing me.
Did you use that David Martinez, by the way, that you bought off me?
I did for the weekend, and he blanked, but he scored midweek, didn't he?
Did they? I've got no idea.
Yeah, he come off the bench midweek and scored the winner in Costa Rica.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm kind of fading my Lloris and Porteous stack this week, to be honest, Quinny. Out, in my best four teams. I think they could, like, if they do get a clean sheet, I do think there could be actually some big scores here, honestly. But Austin are weird. Like they're not great, but they do grind out goals. And Facundo on set pieces is dangerous. Like that's how they scored against RSL. Like, yeah, it just wouldn't surprise me at all if they nicked one. Although LA have got like 4 clean sheets and 4 something nuts in the league. They did just concede in Costa Rica and whatever that means, whatever. But I don't know. I'm a bit cautious on that one.
Texas Derby here. Houston,
Yeah.
bogeys in at start. Whew.
Yeah, Bogus scored the winner last week, 95th minute. He's got 2 DAs. Guilherme scored 100 again. He's on for MVP vibes, I think. Early season, and then obviously Jack McGlynn's and whoever else. James Jonathan Bond didn't keep a clean sheet. He did get a penalty save. But I'm kind of sneaky. I'm not high on Dallas, but mate, Dallas are decent. Like they just drew 3-0 with San Diego, albeit a second team. Musa scored a trick. Like they've got good players here. Like I think this could just be goals written all over. Genuinely. Yeah, Musa, this Valiente guy, Joaquin Valiente, really good. Farrington's got legs. Kamungo the same. This guy's quite interesting. Capis is good. They're a decent side. Like it wouldn't surprise me if Dallas won this somehow at all.
Wow.
Yeah, not at all. Even though Houston have been really good and stuff. Yeah, I just got a weird feeling about Dallas. Really weird.
You had to hear first from Harry Trades.
Yeah, it just wouldn't surprise me. I want Houston to do well. I need some Guilherme DAs and stuff. But Dallas. Who did they battered LAFC a couple of weeks ago, and they ended up losing like 1-0. But everyone seems to bat LAFC, and they always seem to win. It's strange, mate. St. Louis. I watched the game on the weekend. I was sweating the LAFC clean sheet. St. Louis should have scored 10. I'm not exaggerating. Like
Wow.
Lloris made a couple of good saves, but they battered them if we're talking like possession and stuff. I know possession doesn't win games of football directly, but it contributes. And LA are a bit of a transitional team with Buanga and Son and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Luke said stream keeps effing up because Berber's aura took a hit by that ridiculous statement.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's a fun one.
That's funny.
James made his debut last week, not at the start. But
Yeah, James swapped shirts, didn't he, with Muller? Seattle have got Vancouver's number, it seems, in the midweek, so they'll be flying high. Rothrock's fit. Everyone's fit bar, Yaimar, effectively. And tough game though. Minnesota are decent. Your Boas and Pereira's, Triantis, they're a good side, but I think it's low score in this one for me if I had to guess. Seattle are good, as we know, and I don't know. Minnesota will have to do a lot here to win this game.
yeah,
But equally, Seattle. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be like a 2-1, 1-0 either way type of game if I had to guess.
My gut tells me Minnesota probably take that.
Do you? Because of the
Yeah,
midweek. They
yeah.
went strong midweek, Seattle.
They went strong, and it's just like, how many midweeks have they had now? 4 matches so far this
Yeah,
season.
couple, three,
So
fours.
they've just got a few more minutes in the legs. And the squad's not that
Yeah.
deep.
No, not at all. No, that's a fair point. And they're obviously at home. Yeah, I don't mind that shout at all.
Could be a score
Um,
draw, but yeah, if I had to pick one, I'd probably think Minnesota makes sense.
Definitely. Timbers have been shocking so far this season at home to Galaxy. Galaxy played last night. Peck is back from suspension. Paintsill is not back from injury. Um, Pantomis could probably maybe is
Oh,
out. Yeah, he
wow.
took like a boot to the head last week. Had 14 stitches. Yeah. So yeah, this lad maybe plays. He's an L15 of 0, which is quite interesting if he
Quite
actually does
rare.
play. Very rare these days, yeah. But this is a Sunday game, I believe, so we're not going to have well, as far as I'm aware, we're not going to have the Pantomis news before Saturday's lock necessarily on the sheet. We might get it today on like he just didn't train today or
Mhm.
whatever, but that doesn't mean he's not going to play.
David
Yeah.
DaCosta's not played much this year yet.
No, he was injured for the first few games. He played last week. I really rate him. I think I liked him last year. These two are like really, really good. Like, it's just Timbers will probably lose most games. They're just gonna get but those two might get DAs is basically what you're hoping for. I think, which they will do. They're on set pieces, and I think Valdez kind of bullied DaCosta on most of them now. Like, I think he's on basically everything. So yeah, keep a little eye on that.
Fun game. Guys, hit the like button if you've done so already, please. It keeps the stream alive. Streamlabs and Sorare are getting upset with the lack of likes, so help us out here as we go through the score predictions for the weekend ahead. We've covered the Belgian League, the Dutch League, most or all of Challenger, and we're rattling through MLS at the speed of knots. We started the show a little bit earlier today because there is a lot to get through, and we do our best to cover it all with you guys. Fist bumps to on arrival. Thanks for
2
catching us
seconds.
as always. As Harry Boy's got Cincinnati and Montreal on screen for us here. Now, I know Harry's very much in the Evander train. Montreal, but they have been the banana skin team so far this year. Again, I think every year we write them off as being terrible, and then they always get a few results that just make you sit up and take notice. Team looks all right for both sides here. Be a brave man to call it. It does look like it's a Cincinnati game. Evander, Denke, even the likes of Miles Robinson in defence and such. Brian Ramirez, the wing back forward card, has been doing decent, I think, hasn't he? And then on the other side, of course, you've got the likes of Matty Longstaff, Ivan Jaime, or Jamie, whatever we're calling him. And the Chilean goalkeeper, who keeps catching my eye, Thomas Gillier. Which clubs do we think we should target for set this weekend? That's a good question. Who is good for sets? We'll get on to Champ as we kind of rattle through. In terms of early thoughts, yeah, just trying to think who are the good games. Bayern are at home to Union. That should be decent. And Barca are at home to Rayo. No guarantee that's as smooth sailing. There will be rotations and such. I don't know, to be honest with you off the top of my head, but we'll get through Champion and we'll probably have a wee shout or two or a wee thing we notice come to our attention, certainly. I might even just take over from Harry here while he's AFK with us at the moment. Let me hit refresh, and we got to Cincy Montreal.
Sorry, mate, I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay, fair enough.
Back. We'll be back on Cincy, sorry.
Yeah, I just kind of spoke about what was there.
Baby trades, what are you doing? You've infiltrated. Great.
Oh, no Bundesliga sets, of course.
Okay, yeah, Cincinnati played last night. Vander's on a 70, which I understand why they sort of done it. Valenzuela's suspended. Vander played all the game, I think like 87 minutes last night. Got an assist, but they got battered. But yeah, similar team to probably what started last night. But Cincy haven't had a good start, man. Like, they really haven't at all. But Montreal are weird. Like, they're terrible, but they also... Who did they batter? Battered New York Red Bulls, didn't they? 3-0. They're sneaky. They're really sneaky. So I'm on the Evander train personally, but I ended up I was going to buy Miles and Celentano, but I just don't know. I just think they're just risky. Everything's risky, but Cincy in their form is just not something that I like so far.
Yeah, fair. We've got a question here from Rai. Would we go with Maza or Undav? I don't think either one of them's got a good game. Stuttgart are playing. Oh, who's Stuttgart playing again? They're playing somebody decent.
I
think
know
Leverkusen are playing somebody decent.
Leverkusen are away to like somebody not great. I know their odds are like quite high,
Oh, really?
but I don't know. I can't remember who it is. It's not like it might be Werder Bremen. I don't know though.
No, it's Bremen, Wolfsburg,
Okay,
Union Berlin, Bayern.
yeah, it's
Is it maybe
someone not good.
Dortmund Stuttgart? No, it's not Dortmund Stuttgart.
Like Leverkusen aren't playing a good team. I don't know about the other. I don't know about Heidenheim. That's
Oh, yeah. Aye, Maza against Heidenheim every day of the week.
yeah, away to Heidenheim.
Aye, that's a good one.
Um,
Atlanta United, Moranchuk's happening, Almiron's happening, Harry Trades has doubled up on them.
It's happening a little bit, yeah. I don't know if I've got the balls to go Moranchuk this week, although I think he will do well. I just think I maybe probably have better midfielders elsewhere. But yeah, Almiron's happening for sure. Latte did get 2 DAs last week, but there's just no all-around score for him. But yeah, on paper, they in there, I say form is very recent form. We're talking like a game or two. They should go out and score a couple of goals against DC, but at the same time, would it surprise me if they concede a couple? No, it just sadly wouldn't. So yeah, maybe a score win here.
Yeah, that Matty
Peglo.
Piccola for DC scores really good.
Yeah,
He
I
caught
know
my
his
other
scores
day.
have been nuts, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got his classic card. He seems to absolutely rip for some reason. So yeah, I am quite high on the Almiron for sure.
Stuttgart Augsburg.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then we've got Vancouver, San Jose. Timo Bunsen-Burner looks to be on for another start after his 12 corners taken last week, I think it was. He was flying against Seattle. Him and Sakaris, whatever his name is, he scored like 40 all-around score, he did.
Wow, really?
Yeah, at midfield, yeah, he takes some sets as well. So yeah, no gimme for Vancouver, played midweek.
Muller
Never
versus
lost.
Werner.
Muller versus Werner, that's funny, yeah. Obviously, you got your Berhalters. No Tristan Blackman, it seems like 30% on. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, Ezio Jackson, Muller, Brian White's been scoring a few goals. I think they'll win, but I'm hoping for a clean sheet. But you just never know with big Timo in form,
Who knows, man? Honestly, I was so surprised to hear that AA last week. No decisive, sadly, but if he did, it'd have been a spike and a half.
Would have been a big score. But apparently, I looked at someone showed me the screenshot of all those corners, and he took every one of them short. I think.
Oh, really?
It was weird. Like literally every single one was short. Yeah, because you can see all like the points. It might be on SofaScore to be fair. So yeah, keep an eye on that. But yeah, Timo's maybe happening. And then the New York into Miami game. This was famously, I think last year or the year before, the worst ever Sorare score for Messi when Andrew Laird was in attendance. So if Messi doesn't happen this week, we know who to blame.
Yeah.
Although Laird won't be in attendance, he still has previous, so the aura, still lives on basically.
Totally.
But yeah, Miami went out midweek, drew 1-1. Messi scored against Nashville. Obviously, loads of 70s. I get it. Like, you've got to be cautious as a predictor. But Messi and DePaul weren't even in the squad last weekend. That ain't happening again. I don't care what anyone says. Argentina play on like the 30th. They've got like 10, 12 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be so shocked if Messi don't play here. The pitch is tiny. Yep. I just can't see it. Unless he is just, feeling something, fine. But if everything is fine, there's just no way you're just getting rested for this.
Yeah.
They drew last week to Charlotte. Like, they need points,
And it is New York as well. It's like it's one of the big cities, isn't it? It's one of the fancy places,
New York are top right now, like.
Oh yeah, I know. I know we're cooking.
We know very well.
I fancy this game for New York as well, just before the RGs, because I just think they'll just be mad for playing against Messi. Like
they'll love it, yeah.
Yeah, so there's like 4 Argentinians in the starting 11 there. 3, 4, 3 RGs.
3 RGs, a couple of Aussies.
A couple of people from Brazil. But yeah, Ojeda, saying Fernandez, Marcao, they'll all be right
up for it. Yeah.
Against DePaul and Messi and such. So yeah, I think this will be a good one. They say the pitch suits New York City as well. Nice tiny pitch. Probably suits Messi quite nicely too, actually.
Definitely.
But I think New York get the win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. Oh, it should be tight on paper. I don't think it's a terrible game for Messi. If I'm being honest, because I do think they're a little bit suspect at the back. I know they've done well so far, New York, but I think you can get at Martins and Tools. Like they're fine, but Gray's looked amazing so far. I gotta say, like defensively, you have
Yeah.
a really tough time against him. Despite, to be fair, whoever played, obviously they played Colorado last week, and Yappy had a fucking good go at him.
Ah, yeah,
Yappy gave
that's
him
the
a
first time I've seen him, and I remember you
yeah.
talking about him. He is
He's a
quick,
bit of a
man.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an issue. So they did obviously lose the clean sheet there, but overall, Gray's looked unbelievable. I mean, Truin, I mentioned early on in the season, didn't I, Quinny? But like, fucking,
Hmm.
what a player he is, by the way. At centre back,
I said last
mate.
week I couldn't see him being dropped from the team,
Hmm.
and then I never played him anywhere meaningful.
Same. Yeah,
Aye.
same. Killed me.
So
Scored
this week
like
he's in.
80, no AA, no clean sheet. Like,
Yeah.
he is serious. And the good thing about him is if they do bring on subs, because he's got such an engine, he'll go into midfield then. So they'll bring
Yep.
Parks off, they'll bring O'Neill off sometimes, and obviously he moves in, and then Raul Gustavo comes in at centre back. It's just perfect. Yeah, I'm in love with him, to be honest, mate. I love him. I think he's class. Like
Left foot,
on the
right foot,
ball,
plays everywhere,
he's just
man.
he's massive. He can run like he could play in the Prem. I think at some point, genuinely. He's a bit
Definitely
old,
play in
like
Europe.
yeah, he could definitely go play in Europe at a good level. I think physically, like, and he'll be at the World Cup, I guess, as well. So we'll see him. We'll see him there with this, the Socceroos. Um, now I'm having him big time.
Let's try to protect his Messi. He's getting as far away from him as he can.
He has informed me that he won't be anywhere near New York Stadium this week. So
He's
I'm
not
very
allowed in the
happy for
zip
that.
code.
No, we said to him 100-mile radius. You can't be anywhere near. Me and Gator put out a warrant. Can't go anywhere near
Love that. Remember
the
on to
goats.
Charlotte, New York Bulls.
Charlotte, New York. Yeah, I've bought into Charlotte this weekend, Quinny. They're one of my 4 defensive stacks.
Nice,
I've gotten Kalina and Toffolo. I don't know if you've seen Toffolo's scores, but they've looked quite interesting.
nice.
He had like a 78 no clean sheet, and then he had like a 71 last week with a clean sheet, or the week before, whatever. Yeah, I like what I'm kind of seeing there. Against the Bulls away again, they scraped a draw against Toronto. I'm not too worried about the Bulls too much if I'm being honest. And yeah, I fancy a little Charlotte win here, to be honest. Not 1-0, 2-0.
Because yeah, Red Bulls
I
kind of
can
came
see it.
unstuck last week, didn't they, as well? So
A little bit, yeah.
yeah, Charlotte always good at home.
Yeah, Charlotte at home. You've got a fancy, maybe a little clean sheet there. Kansas, Colorado. Love that, Mikey. Mikey's on
Yeah,
it. Mikey's on it. Yeah, Kansas at home against Colorado. I've been on the road the last few weeks, so yeah, not easy for them travel wise. Joveljic is on it. Manu Garcia's on it as well.
yep,
I still think Colorado might sneak this, but I do smell goals if I had to guess.
yeah.
Three
Both keepers are
twos,
suspect.
yeah, saves, but I do think there'll be a couple of goals either way. Toronto, my boys at home to the Crew, who haven't really had a good start so far this season. Chambeau is
Mm-mm.
back though. Andre Gomez is fully integrated. So, the team does have names and numbers and stuff. Like, it is a good side, but I think they've just lost the Nancy factor, to be honest. And something's just not right necessarily. Now, that doesn't mean they can't go and get, a victory against Toronto, but, Sargent, Shaloy's happening. Obviously, Mihailovic.
Yep.
Zimmerman's had last couple of good games. Gavran's looked okay, shaky at times for sure, but shot stopper really good. Larea, Osorio, it's a good team. Like I've said it. Like once they get all their players back, Toronto, there's a team there, a serious team.
Yeah.
That I think can challenge. I'm not saying they're going to go blow out Columbus 3-0 or anything. I think it'll be tight. I'm confident in a little 2-1, 1-0 maybe Toronto.
Soloi's
I
still
can
a very
see.
cheap forward card. I think he's like a tenner.
I know. I bought the unique. I don't know if you saw it,
Oh
but
wow. No, I didn't.
yeah,
I think I
classic.
heard actually. Yeah, but I didn't.
Classic unique last week off PSU, and he ended up getting the double DA with Geordie. So I should have won Super 8 last week. When I don't know if you saw it. 97th minute, Gavran lost his clean sheet. I finished 10th. It would have been first by a nice little stretch. So that was brutal, to be fair. But anyway, yeah, Sargent first start. Hopefully, I don't have a shot Sargent yet, but I do really want one. Um, and then we got a little bit of Philly at home to Chicago. Not really too much to say here, to be fair. Philly did play midweek though, so whatever that means. It means,
Kevin Sullivan on the start.
yeah, I see that. Yeah, I mean, he apparently looked good midweek. Like he was
What are we
Gremlins
going to do?
again.
Yeah, the Gremlins are out. Guys, we've not even hit 67 likes yet. I think that's the problem. It's the first magic number we need to get to. Or Sorare will pull the stream down and make us go and watch this show in French at their place.
I don't know what's going on. St. Louis Revs, obviously some terrible news came out about Lowen's wife. I don't know whether you saw that, Quinny,
No?
but she
Terrible?
sadly passed last week. She's
Oh,
had an
wow.
ongoing battle with cancer for the last few years. That's why he's like always absent and stuff. Like he just doesn't play when, obviously, very understandably. So they're gonna do
Yeah.
like a big thing for her here. I think this might be their first home game or one of the first home games of the season. So I think the St. Louis boys will be right up for this.
Oh, yeah.
To with that in the back of their mind. Although he obviously probably won't play. The teammates will carry that, I think, onto the pitch against a
Yeah.
Rev side who battered Cincinnati last week 6-1, which was just mental. It was like a kind of a second string Cincy side. But yeah, I think St. Louis will edge this personally. They look really good against LA. They just couldn't score.
I feel really sad for that
So
guy's wife. I hope everything goes
I
well
know,
in the
fucking
aftermath
terrible,
of
mate.
obviously kids and
Couple of
family and
kids
whatnot.
as well.
That's a shame, man.
I know, absolutely
St. Louis,
gutting
good
for
shout
them.
to win. I'd say that kind of spirit factor is huge when
Yeah,
people are being remembered or somebody happens all the time, man. So I would not be surprised. Probably huge odds on that. Or maybe
I
not. Actually,
know.
they're 53% there.
Yeah, they're kind of favoured to be fair, but that doesn't mean Gil can't go and get a DA or anything. Like I'm not sort of scaring people from playing, a couple of Revs boys, but I do think St. Louis end up winning that for reasons bigger than football sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, that seem to translate onto the field. Nashville, Orlando, last but one game. Orlando obviously edged Messi midweek. Espinosa's been looking good. I think he's going to be my one regret maybe this week, Quinny, not getting an Espinosa in. Not through
Mm.
like I don't know. I just haven't got round to doing it, and I've got enough options, but I do think he'll do well this week. I'm sure Hanny will get a couple of DAs. It's just really hard to back the midfielder Hanny. As far as AA goes.
Mm.
Watch, he'll end up getting like a couple of DAs now and do 80 easily. Guaranteed, by the way. But yeah, they've looked really good defensively. Nashville, I was very close to buying a Nashville defensive stack. I think they're technically the best clean sheet odds by just a little bit here compared to San Diego's 3% difference at home to Salt Lake. Manu Dua back from suspension. Hopefully Ferry back in goal, and then all the usual suspects. It looks like
Full
Vasquez
strength.
gets full strength. Vasquez gets the nod over Godoy. But other than
Oh,
that,
Luna's back.
yeah, Luna came on last week. I don't know whether you caught that. Luna came
No.
on. Gilavogi looked good. He had a BCM that it was an unbelievable save, to be honest. Goes up like I don't know if you saw Spearings' goal, mate. He come off the bench and scored a worldie, by the way,
Oh,
to win the
wow.
game. Yeah, like
Oh, I'll take
insanely
that.
good goal. So they're looking really good. I really like Salt Lake. Like I think they're class. That's not to say they're going to go beat San Diego, but they're like a good team to have. I think really good.
Yeah, I can see it. If,
Massive players.
Spearings is one of those guys when he made that move, it's like, oh, this could be, if it works, this could be a
Yeah,
power
yeah.
player.
Mate, he took his goal so well. He literally on the field for 10 minutes, scored the winner. It was really impressive. Snabria, Spearings, Gozo, Gilavogi, Luna. Like it's a serious team. And this big Victor guy behind this Solans guy, like he's really good as well. Like they've got so much firepower. It's really impressive. Um, yeah.
A wee question to end on MLS. Is this an in-season Messi Limited that we're talking?
Ooh,
If it's in-season Messi Limited, I think I'm doing that. If it's
probably, yeah.
classic Limited, I'm probably going rare. I don't know. What do you think, Harry Boy?
Depends what other limited you've got, like I need context really.
Oof.
Um,
Oh,
you
God. I've
know.
just got a notification. Benjamin
Go.
Arthur has did the pre-match press conference.
Ooh.
That's not fun.
So that means maybe no trusty?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or something. Oh, that's a nightmare, by the way. training galleries out as well. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors on the show and on the channel MFL. After that, we have got the J League, the K League contender to get through before we run through the big 5 leagues and champion as we run towards the deadline. Thanks again to MFL for all the partnership and sponsorship we've had, all the support we've had on the channel and on the show. And here's a wee word for them. MFL Meta Football League is a football management game that takes this genre to the next level. This is an open network online experience where every club, every opponent you play against is managed and operated by another player, by another person. It's your tactics, it's your wit, it's your squad against your opponents. MFL seasons normally run for around 6 weeks, so this isn't a game that comes out every new football season that you need to go and buy a new copy of. So there's never a bad time to open your account and get your club up and running. The only thing you need to buy or to pay for to get up and running to play MFL is your club. You can buy a club pack from MFL directly and it will randomly generate where your club is located, what city and in what country. One of the ways MFL takes this game to the next level is every player you own, you are actually their agent. So any players that you own that you're not going to use in your own squad, you can list on the market for loan, where they can go into another squad, and in return you'll get a percentage, you'll get a cut of any of the prize money that those players help those clubs to win. Sign up by using the link that's in the description of this video or in the pinned comment. You'll directly support me and all the content here at the channel, but by doing so you guarantee yourself the best sign up bonuses available. Bada bing, bada boom. Now guys, we responded to the speculation last week about bringing in any new don't know what to call it, but another person to come in and help us with the deadline show, particularly to help us with Contender, a wee bit of J and everything else that goes around that. Sadly, we could not close the deal to bring Ange Postecoglou onto the show. He sadly decided to join UEFA. He's now a UEFA technical observer or something at the moment. And you've probably seen that splashed all across the press. And last week, me and Harry went out of our way to refute all the other speculation because it was, of course, just paper talk. It was just trash. But I'm pleased to say he was our real first choice, and this is what you always say when the first choice goes and takes the Real Madrid job or something like that. He was actually the real first choice the whole time. We definitely didn't try and get anyone else in for this spot, of course. And it's the only. Sorry, Contender, Marky boy, good to see you.
Good to be here, lads. It's been waiting very patiently for the last week or two since the paperwork was signed. Managed to fight off the competition. Postecoglou actually sent me a message this morning. He's not happy he didn't get the gig, you know. So, but yeah, jokes aside, absolute pleasure to be here, lads. A bit odd to be here because I'm usually just sitting watching every Friday. Love the show, love Sorare, love what you do, love baby trades, love everything that goes on. So yeah, good to be here. I know how painful Harry finds it to do J League, K League in particular. Hoping to see you've picked up a few K-League cards for the duos, Harry, but I'm sure you've got more sense than we do who play it. So great to be here. Happy to lend a hand. I'm all over Contender, play a bit of Challenger as well. So yeah, pleasure to be here and happy to help out.
Yeah, great to see you, Mark. Sorare Contender, Mark, all of his channels on YouTube, on Twitter, everything like that is all linked in the description of the show, so feel free to go and check all that out. Content that comes from you is generally quite Contender focused, hence the name. And one thing I know about Mark, that if you don't follow or keep up to date with him, is he's very agile in the market. I don't think I've bought more cards off of one individual account that's not a trader than yourself, you know, so he's very quickly in and out of stuff. He was quite happy to make £4 a time, or even more in a lot of cases, of course. So some great content over there, and if you've not caught it yet, I recommend you check it out.
Those little £4, Quinny, they add up. I've got plenty little £4 from you. I think I sold you Elijah just a couple of weeks ago, made a nice little flip on him just before he got a DNP, of course, as well, so perfectly timed.
Yeah, that's it for sure. Also, this first time on there should be a wee button below the screen, but it says share. If you can click that and then it's screen, it gives you the option for like slides and stuff. But if you do screen, and then yeah, we'll take it away. We'll go through the ROI, the ROW, the rest of the world around the Contender, the J and the K. What about yourself, Mark, coming into the weekend? Harry's been telling us about all his streaks he's got flying off the handle. How are you cooking for the weekend?
Yeah, no major streaks. I think I'm on streak 2 for Challenger. I missed out, went that midweek with Motherwell when they got beat. So went back to streak 1 for that one. Managed to somehow hit a K-League streak last week. So streak 2 this weekend. I don't think anyone's... The talk is that no one's ever going to get to streak 3, but I'm determined to bash that myth. So while you're chatting there, lads, I just need to check a couple of settings here and I'll get back to you in a wee second.
Yeah, of course. I'll throw a wee screen up.
That was a class little intro, though. I love that. That was amazing.
Yeah. Chat's all very welcoming as well, so great to see and great to hear. Never seen Harry so happy to not be the man for contender as
Such
well.
a relief,
And
I can't lie.
yeah, well, we're finally going to stop getting all those letters, those complaint letters that we get sent every week. For Harry is blasphemy towards all these leagues. We're constantly getting inundated with complaint cards from all around the world. I can't read half of them because they're in kanji and whatever else that writing's called from around there. But finally, all that will be put to an end.
Yeah, it's been brutal, but it's just one of them where if there's somebody that enjoys it and is better than me in those regions, and can put a smile on other people's faces whilst doing it, then it just has to happen. Hainsey said he just bought a card from Contender. That's great timing.
I'm just struggling to get this screen to share, lads. If you give me 2 minutes, if you just chat away, I'll get it as soon as I can.
I think it gives you a couple of options, doesn't it? It's like window, screen. I always just do window, if that makes any difference.
I'm not even getting there. It's just the MacBook's making things hard to get in. So should figure it out in a wee second.
No, you're good.
That's cool. I can put J-League on screen now if you want. Or I suppose you'll try to look at two things might be hard. I'll throw J-League on, and then when you've got it, you can catch his mark. So it's Fagiana Okayama and Nagasaki on screen here. And the only player I'm aware of is my boy Osaka. Otherwise, these are a lot of no names to me. I don't know. Yamaguchi, is that the Yamaguchi? Or is it a Yamaguchi?
It might be a different one, but I don't know.
That's fun. Again, J-League guys have had a lot of midweek action as well. Some Champions League stuff over in Asia. I think Kawasaki have been involved in that. They're on screen now. They've got Yokohama. Oh, we lost Mark. Uh-oh. He's maybe pressed the wrong button. he's maybe closed a window by mistake. So that's funny. Teething problems and all that. Yeah, he'll be back in a sec. Lazar Romanic up front for them. That's a new name on me. Yuri Araujo for Yokohama F. Marinos and Jordi Crew. Some fun new names in town. After that, we've got Kyoto Sanga and the Goya Grampus.
Didn't we have a J-League midweek, or was it a K-League midweek? I think we had.
We had Champions League stuff. It was Zelvia took on Antlers, and I think Kawasaki played somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that checks out.
Kashima against Hollyoak. A few familiar names and faces in this one. And then Urawa against Machida Zelvia, as we mentioned before. There we go. Did you close the wrong window?
Close the wrong window.
Yeah.
It's not your gremlins, it's me being an idiot. So let me just try share screen here to see if it actually works.
Yes, sure. K-League did have a midweek, says Laird.
This looks better. So did you say go to window?
Yeah.
I normally go window, yeah. But have you got two screens going, Mark, or one?
Just one. Not rich enough for two yet. I play K-League, Harry, not MLS.
You just sold a card to Hainsey. Surely that could be fun then. Yeah, I don't know how that works with one screen, if I'm being honest.
Do you know what? It might be just Chrome tab. Let me just one second.
Yeah, Chrome tab would be, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
We might be in action now.
Boom. There we go.
There we go.
Cool. All good. So you can see J-League, Sorare inside, all good?
Yep. All good.
Perfect. So what have you done there, Quinny? Have you started with J-League?
We got to Urawa. So if you want to just go there and then
so
pick
you
up.
go on what? First 4 fixtures done?
Yeah. So cool. We click through. Not much to say on them. But got them on screen for everyone.
J-League in general has been a bit of a disaster. It's I went in quite heavy and probably not taken into account enough of the short season and no relegation. So managers are really rotating, massively. So it's been really hard to get 5-man teams out, but we'll keep fighting a good fight. I've kind of abandoned ship a wee bit on some of my J-League guys. I was lucky the first weekend they had cash in the leaderboards just for the first 2 game weeks, and I managed to come second. I think it was $600. So that really saved my bacon, and hopefully we'll be able to break even. That's the target in J-League. Just get out as best I can before the short season's over. So should be able to see your RAW on the screen. Is that all good? Can you see all that on the screen, lads? Or do you need to minimize again? That's okay.
No, you're perfect.
Yeah, so you're out with the main guys here. Savio, left wing, most attacking player, should be good. Nomoto at the back. As for Machida, The main news there is Yuki Soma's been injured, but he did play some minutes midweek. So looks like he's going to start this one. Former Livingston striker Terry Yengi up top. Still getting used to seeing him and his brother play in the J League, but he's certainly getting the minutes there. Okamura, Drezovic, Nakayama at the back, and the main man Kosutani in goals. So I'll fly through some of these J League ones. There's obviously a lot more exciting things to talk about these days on Sorare. Next up, we have Avispa Gamba. Gamba have been managing other competitions, Asian Champions League, so their team in particular has been quite hard to predict, but they've got a good matchup this weekend. But as you can see there, a lot of 60, 70%. Nakatani at the back, probably the safest. Hatsushi Miura looked pretty decent as well. And Higashiguchi, he's about 55 years old, but he's getting a lot of game time this season because Ishimori has been injured. So for now, he is looking okay again for this game week.
Nice.
Next up, we have, just jump in any time, lads, if you've got anything. But I'll get J League out of the way first. I think that's what everyone wants me to do anyway. Kashima, really strong again this year. Yuma Suzuki and Leo Chiara doing really well. Suzuki in particular got a lot of decisives last 5 or 6 game weeks. Chiara started the season really strongly. Again, as you can see here, this kind of reflects how hard it is to put J League teams together nowadays. You're looking at 60s and 70%. And as we know in Sorare Inside, I think Harry mentioned this before, but when you see a 60%, it's really a 50% because they're not allowed by Sorare to do the 50-50 thing. So it's really, really tricky. Ueda looks good. Centre back there can score goals for Kashima. And obviously Hayakawa is a pretty secure goalkeeper as well. I like the right back, Nono, pretty attacking, and he's pretty secure at the moment as well. They're playing JF United, newly promoted team. I quite like Ishikawa up front. He looks like he's going to start this one. Not a huge amount to say, really. Wakahara, again, looks good to go in goal.
Nice.
Yeah, Kashima, really good matchup this weekend. You can see there 64%. That's 62% for Kashima. Next up, Tokyo Derby. Tokyo Verdy versus FC Tokyo. Ex-Celtic man Inamura playing for Tokyo.
Ooh.
Looks like he's going to be... He played last week. He missed a couple of games, but he should be back in. His centre-back teammate, Alexander Schultz, penalty-taking centre-back, scored a penalty last week. So always a bit of a smasher in the J-League. Up top, it looks like Marcelo Ryan should have a decent chance of starting this one as well. As for Verdi, again, no names really jump out to me from that team, so I'll just skip over that one. But again, big derby match, so that one could definitely go either way. Yeah. Chirazu Osaka up against Vissel Kobe. I do know Iraguchi, another ex-Celtic, is suspended this weekend, so be careful with that one. Elsewhere at Kobe, Tuller, centre-back, looks good, secure, good for minutes, good for goals. Goalkeeper situation, got to be careful at Vissel Kobe. The guy Gonda played the last game. We think Mayakawa is still going to be first choice, but maybe not. Just be careful with priority lineups and stuff like that. Be careful with the Kobe goalkeeper. On the other side, Chirazo Nakamura is having a good season in goal there. Shunta Tanaka will probably drop back to centre-back because Hatanaka is injured at the moment. And again, another team of 60% across the board there. Up front, Solomon Sakuragawa should be good to play. He's been scoring goals this season as well. Nice. And finally, Shimizu Pulse against Sanfrecce. Sanfrecce always pretty strong. Yeah. The GOAT, Shoshisaki's been, slowly coming back from injury. He hasn't really played much in this special season. And again, 60% this week, so probably a 50-50 call. Osako in goal is always a safe shout. Up front, Akito Suzuki, really good striker, signed for Sanfrecce this season. I'm pretty sure he didn't start the last game, so he's probably got a good chance of playing this one. I think he came off the bench midweek and scored possibly. Raul Germain I like in that team as well, but it's always just getting the minutes is really, really hard in the J-League at the moment. As for Shimizu Pulse, OC Hun, always like him up front. Kiragawa's another one I like. Again, both on 70% here. Mateus Bueno, always probably one of the most secure, but he doesn't always hit the peak scores, which is frustrating. But maybe this is his week. And looks like Umeda will be in goal. So that is J-League, I think, done and dusted. Want me to just carry on, jump over to K-League possibly?
Yeah, let's go see the K-League, see the pain that's about to happen over there.
The excitement on Harry's face for this one.
Honestly.
What stack have you bought for the weekend, Harry?
I think Ulsan are the best, aren't they, this week? I think I did a little preview with Laird on the show on Tuesday, and they looked pricey, but I think against the Army boys, isn't it, Gimshawn?
Yeah, big question.
Yeah.
I watched the stream with Laird. I presume he's failed then in getting you to get involved.
Well, I said to him, if I hit the MLS streak this weekend, I'll dive into the old duos next or after the international break.
Yeah, sounds good because I think we've got 3 weeks for the duo.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can use your big money wins this weekend to.
Yeah, I'll go out and get an Ulsan stack.
You could probably buy 50 Ulsan stacks, probably, if you're winning. 50 super rare Ulsan stacks.
50 super rares and uniques. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I'll jump in here. K-League's always much easier with just the 12 teams. So Seoul are at home to Gwangju. Seoul probably have the best fixture of the weekend here, 62% win percentage. Gwangju have been pretty poor. Again,
how's Polish Paddy doing?
Yeah, a lot of ex-Celtic players kicking about J-League and K-League. So Klamala hasn't scored much recently, but I've watched every set of K-League highlights so far. That's what Sorare does to you, of course. My wife just comes into the living room and says, what's this now? I thought it was the Japanese league, and I says, no, it's Korea now. So Sorare's to blame for that. Klamala's looked good. He's been getting lots of shots away. He's been close to scoring a couple of times. So I do fancy him this weekend in a good fixture. He will be in one of my priority lineups. Anderson Oliveira, maybe a bit of a rotation risk. Anderson Oliveira, he didn't start midweek, but again, a very good player when he was at Suwon, but hasn't really kicked off yet at Seoul. We're just kind of waiting for that to happen. Cho Young-wook has started the season quite well, kind of playing in an attacking midfield role. Babic has come from Croatia, I think it was. Yeah, he was suspended recently, but he's back for this one. Probably the main man here is left back Kim Jin-soo. High projected score here. I'm going to captain Kim Jin-soo in one of my priority lineups as well. Yazan, just be careful with Yazan. He's coming back from injury. He's played a couple. He's missed a couple. So, yeah, again, probably just be a little bit careful with that one. Gwangju, again, not much to shout about here. Shin Chang-mu. I was up all night practicing these names, lads. Didn't get any sleep. Shin Chang-mu, taking some set pieces, good left foot, taking penalties recently, although I think Fron Johnson might have taken the most recent penalty. But again, yeah, it's the sole guys you want from this fixture for this weekend. Next up, probably a bit of a early title challenge clash between Daejeon and Jeonbuk. I should say as well, shout out to Ross at K-League English and Sorare Seoul, who've really helped me last couple of seasons to improve my knowledge of these leagues. Certainly wouldn't be able to be sitting here doing this without those guys. So appreciate everything they do. So Daejeon here are at home, but Jeonbuk, title favourites. They were Gus Poet's team last year, but he's no longer there. So they're title favourites again this year. Jeonbuk, Oberdan, midfielder. He has classic midfielder cards, but for some odd reason, he's got forward in-season cards. So he is always a good shout. Really good, defensive midfielder for AA, but also can get attacking returns as well. I've been really impressed with Lee Sung-woo off the bench in most games, so I think there's a good chance he will start this one. He created the winning goal in the last game week. He beat about 5 men, and then goalkeeper saved it, and I think it was, who was it? Thiago possibly who scored. Don't think it was Thiago. It was Mota. I think Mota came off the bench and scored in that one. Elsewhere for Jeonbuk, Kim Tae-won, right back. I think he's a good shout for some decisives, possibly at both ends of the pitch. Their goalkeeper, Song Bum-kun, is one of the best in the league, so he's always pretty secure. On the other side, as my neighbour decides to cut his grass for the first time this year, perfect.
Can't even hear it.
Hopefully the good microphone's doing its job. Daejeon, you've got Ludwigsson, the Swedes. He didn't start midweek, so he should be good for this weekend. I like Bobson, centre midfield. Classy player, left-footed, Brazilian, as there is plenty of Brazilians. So he should start this one, I think, as well.
Nice.
And yeah, nothing else there. Again, there's a lot of, because K-League has played, this is the 3rd game in a week, so it's tricky. You're probably relying heavily this weekend on guys who didn't start midweek. So Ludwigsson is one of those. Up front, Masatoshi Ishida. He did play midweek and scored, but again, does he start this weekend is the big question. So that is going to be a good one. Might even sit down and watch that one.
Nice.
Again, that's what Sorare does to you at the weekends.
Now, K-League's on a nice time if you're in the UK. It's dead early, isn't it?
It is. Midweek, I think it was like 10:30 in the morning, so it was fine. Wife's at work, wee man's at nursery. So yeah, bit of K-League's always a bit of fun. This is, yeah, I agree with Harry. Ulsan, I like the matchup this weekend against Gimshin, who of course are the military outfit. For Ulsan, Yago up front has been scoring really well, probably one of the best strikers in the league. Yeah, he scored midweek again against, I think he's on loan from Anyang, and he scored against him, which was a bit odd. Midfield, Bojanic is the Zinedine Zidane of the K-League, more so that he looks like him with his bald head than his ability, but he's a good scorer. I managed to craft the Bojanic midweek, so I've got 2 of them, and I'll be using both this weekend. Elsewhere for Ulsan, Kim Jong-gwon, the centre-back, is injured, so I think it's a hamstring. Seems to be a lot of hamstrings in J-League and K-League at the moment. So obviously don't use him. And they've got a very secure goalkeeper as well in Ji Hyun Woo, who some of you will be familiar with. As for the military team, in goal, Beck, pretty sure he was at Seoul previously. He's been starting games this season. But again, he's 60% there, so maybe not super secure in nets. Their main man is probably Park Tae-jun in midfield. He is good for AA. He takes set pieces. And again, probably one of the players I've been impressed most with in the opening weeks is Go Jae-hyun on the right wing. He didn't start midweek, but he came on and had a big impact. He actually scored a great goal off the bench midweek. So he is not overly expensive at the moment, and I quite like using him in some of my better lineups as well. So there we have it. Ulsan expected to win this one. Next up, Pohang and Bucheon. Bucheon newly promoted, but they've got some familiar faces. Pohang, first of all, again, favourites here, 52% win percentage. Lee Ho-jae up front, pretty secure, 90% here, and a very good player. I like Juninho on the right wing. He, again, came off the bench midweek, so you'd like to think he probably starts this one. Defensively, again, I don't think I have any of those guys. Park Chan-young. He was suspended. So he got sent off in the first game and missed the next 2, but he's one of the best defenders for Sorare and K-League. So this is his first game back. I picked him up cheap when he was suspended. I say cheap. I don't think anything's going to be cheap in K-League when we look at our ROI at the end of the season. But yeah, a price that I liked, I picked him up for. So I'm gonna captain Park Chan-young in one of my teams this week. I'm going to have the goalkeeper alongside him, probably the left back as well, Eo Jung-won, who takes some set pieces, and then Juninho and Lee Ho-jae look pretty strong for this game week as well. As for Bucheon, you have got Yunbit Garam, another GOAT of Sorare. I'm pretty sure he didn't play the last 2 games. He certainly didn't play midweek. So again, he's getting on in age, but should be good for this weekend. His teammate in the middle there, Kazuki, seems to get a lot of starts. Patrick William at the back has showed a bit of goal threat from set pieces. Goalkeeper seems to be a wee bit up in the air there, so maybe be careful with that one. And another player I've been really impressed with is Tiaguinho Santos, Brazilian left wing back, right wing back. He could probably play in the right wing, left wing as well. He's been really, really good. Like the look of him. So another one maybe to pick up if you fancy it. Up front, John Montano is basically a big battering ram, but he's very, very good. And he started the season quite well. Gallego, this is my first experience of Gallego, but he seems to be a bit of a, I don't know how you would describe him. Some people like him, some people hate him. He's a bit marmite. Is that what they say? You like him, but he's someone who just takes about 15 shots a game. 13 of them are terrible, but he does sometimes manage to score. And he took a penalty recently as well. So I probably will use him this week. He's another one that got a bit of a rest in the midweek round of fixtures. But again, it's probably Pohang players that you're looking at here for the home fixture, and they are the favourites for that as well. Second last fixture is Anyang against Incheon. Incheon newly promoted and have been quite good. Magosa up front has been really good, scoring in almost every fixture. I've been waiting for him to get a rest, but it didn't happen. So maybe that's why he's only 70% here rather than 80 or 90. But he's the main man up front. He's been really good, and I'm probably going to captain him again this weekend as well. Gerso Fernandez, another exciting winger here for Incheon. And at the back, Lee Ju-yong, pretty sure he takes some set pieces, got an assist recently. I've got Kim Young-wee, the centre-back there as well. And they've got another goalkeeper that should be pretty secure in terms of starts. As for Anyang, the main man is Mateus Oliveira. He's quite expensive. I've just got a classic of his, but frustratingly, it's a classic midfielder card his in-seasons are forwards, and forwards is the hard part in the K-League so far. There really isn't any, we don't have Cecilia, obviously, from last year. And, no one's ever going to replicate Cecilia, but no one's even getting close either. So it's quite challenging that way. But Mateus Oliveira is probably one of a handful of players who could, put up similar scores to the main man. Elsewhere for Anyang, again, Kim Dong-jin at left wing back. A lot of left backs in the K-League seem to take set pieces. So if in doubt, get a left back from a K-League team, and you probably can't go too far wrong. Elsewhere defensively, I've got Thomas Kotze as well, who has looked pretty decent in recent fixtures. So again, that's probably a pretty close game to call, that one. Probably not a game to stack from. Maybe just pick out one or two of the better scorers. And finally, and then I'll take a breather, Gangwon at home to Jeju. I realise it's the nerves. I've come on here and I've just gone 100 miles an hour, so I'll take it.
Right. I was going to say with the last team, they had a striker, a centre-back called Wan Ibiza.
Yes.
That's a football chant waiting to happen, isn't there? There's
Sure
only one Ibiza. There's only one Ibiza.
He's one. He's one I need to pick up. I don't know him yet. But yeah, last fixture, Gangwon, obviously a strong team. They play Asian Champions League. They're at home to Jeju, who are arguably the weakest team in the division, along with Gwangju. So Gangwon here, heavy favourites, 54% win percentage. A lot of players here that I like. My favourite is Lee Gi-hyuk. He's down here as an attacking midfielder. He can basically play in any position, left back, centre back, midfield, play further forward. But just be cautious, because I was watching the highlights yesterday. Right at the end of the game midweek, he was down with a head knock with two medics around him. So that's probably why he's 70% here. He's also someone who hasn't really had a rest yet. So as much as I like him and I wanted to captain him this week, I might just not use him at all and just use someone who I know is definitely going to play, because as we know, DNPs, we avoid them as much as we can. So just be careful with Lee Gi-hyuk. Kim Dae-won on the left side of attack there is very good as well. Who else have we got here? Tuki and Shin Min-ha, both good scorers at centre-back. Minutes have been a bit all over the place with Gangwon so far this season, but long-term Shin Min-ha, I think, and Tucci should be first choice. Goalkeeper secure there as well. As for Jeju, I don't think I've got any Jeju players. I might just have the goalkeeper, who I tend to use in leaderboard rather than streaks. Celestine, the centre-back, is probably the best scorer in this team, but again, he's a bit pricey for the team that he plays for, given that they haven't been very good so far this season. So there we have it. Harry's favourites done, J-League, K-League, and I'll take a breather and we'll get stuck into a few more.
Yeah, tell you what, I'm so impressed with the knowledge, by the way. Like, I know it's part of the brand on Twitter, and obviously that's just the name,
honestly,
but like,
it's embarrassing how much I know about these leagues.
But like, nah, that was unbelievable. I was in awe. Like, genuinely, I was just on mute, just like, it's also the accent as well. Like, it gives me Nellis vibes, and it's just like, it's so smooth. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's we certainly miss the dulcet tones of John Nellis doing So Rare content. It's been a while, and I remember being on So Far So Rare when the Prem launched first. Actually, I remember randomly buying a limited Fabian share for stupid amounts of money and then selling them probably for a £4 profit the next day. So, yeah, good. Always good to get an Irish accent back on board.
I totally. No, I was definitely I was trying to tune into the names, especially, but the insight, the intel, and just the familiarity with the clubs and the leagues and all that is brilliant to hear. And
good to hear, Harry, that you enjoyed that. Maybe it's I know you're itching now. Remember, it's a later deadline for K-League, so you've got time. Still got time to go and get your pickups before the weekend.
I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it that much.
Right, we'll carry on with
Croatia.
Yeah, jump into Croatia.
Anybody fancy? We can tend to normally just kind of half open it up to requests or whatever, but if there's ones like Croatia and then anything outside of that, Mark, that you particularly fancy hammering through, feel free. Whether it's Division 2s or whatever.
Croatia, Bundesliga 2, French League 2, and then we can just maybe take a few requests after that.
That sounds awesome.
Loads of Mickey Mouse leagues, of course, in Contender. So yeah, let's do Croatia because it's one of the better ones, of course. We've got Gorica up against Rijeka this weekend. Tony Frick, obviously one of the main guys there at Rijeka, looks good to go. Again, a lot of 60s and 70% in here. I had a disaster early in the season. I picked up that centre back Ante Mastorovic, and he was probably one of the worst pickups I've ever purchased. I think he got suspended for 3 games and then took a while to get back in. For Gorica, not hugely familiar with Gorica. I don't think I've got any of these guys. But again, Rijeka 44% to win away from home probably tells you there which team you want to be looking at this weekend. It looks like we have a Zagreb derby, Lokomotiva versus Dynamo. Dynamo with a 73% win percentage. So obviously these are going to be very popular in the leaderboards this weekend. You have usual suspects across the middle: Stojkovic, Miyazaj, and Misic. Beljo's been scoring well up front. You've got Bakrar and Vidovic there as well. Big Scott McKenna at the back. Good projected score here in Sorare inside. Might need to pick one of those up. And then Livakovic, of course, is back at Zagreb as well. So I have got Mihazaj. He's been really good for me last couple of months, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to captain him in a Division 1 lineup this weekend. He might be the only one I have at the moment. But yeah, obviously Zagreb, 73% win percentage here. Really, really strong going into that Lokomotiv fixture. So yeah, I'm expecting when I look at the top 5 of the leaderboard in a couple of days' time, there's probably going to be a few Dynamo Zagreb guys in there.
And Mark, you can't see the chat, by the way, but the chat's all very complimentary of you. Definitely stand-up job. Everyone's very happy for it. But I know you can't see the chat because you're on one monitor, so I just thought I'd let you know. And let the chat know that you can't see it as well in case they think, oh, he's not even seen it. But
I'll read it back afterwards. So I always think as a content creator, sometimes you're better off not seeing the chat. That's what I
fair.
But good to hear. Good to hear. There's good comments coming in. Again, it's day 1, so I'm gonna be rusty, but hopefully we're doing a bit of justice here. Again, it's just
a Zagreb derby, although it's like Dinamo versus Lokomotiv, and I think they're like 6th or 7th. I believe they call that the Eternal Derby in Croatia, so they take it seriously. It's not just a derby by name. I think the fans really care about that one, regardless of their Lokomotiva being minced by comparison. So expect Zagreb to try, Dinamo that being,
of course. Next up, we have Istra Varadzin. Istra have got some decent Sorare scorers. Emil Fredriksson is a forward card, I'm pretty sure. I think he did have in-season. Yeah, he does have in-season cards, I think, at Istra. I had him for a wee while, and he can score quite well. Probably the main one here is centre-back Nasraoui. He missed a couple of games recently, but he can hit those peak scores. He's back in 80% here. I'm going to use him again in one of the priority teams this weekend. Varadzin on the screen there, but again, probably not a huge amount to talk about there, Sorare-wise.
Yeah.
Next fixture, Split are away to Vukovar. 60% win percentage for Hajduk Split. Lots of good scores here. They've got Big Lavaj up front. Pushkas, very good young player, attacking midfielder. You've got at the back then Hrgovic left back, Seeger right back, Maresic centre back. Options right across the pitch here, of course. Tony Silic in goal there as well. And again, Vukovar, nothing worth mentioning there when they're playing against Hajduk Split. Can only really see that one going one way.
The whipping boys of the league, aren't they, Vukovar? Are they bottom?
I think they are. I mean, if you've only got a 20% win percentage at home, it's not looking too good. And finally, Slaven Osijek. I quite like some of the Slaven guys here. Josip Mitrovic up front is a very good forward for AA. We know how hard it is to find forwards who score well AA-wise, but he is, and he gets decisives as well. So I only picked him up maybe about 2 months ago. But again, he'll be going into one of my better lineups this weekend. They've got, I'm pretty sure they've got another, is it maybe the striker, Nostrovsky? They've got a few good scorers here. They've got the home fixtures. So that could be another one to tap into this weekend. Osijek, again, not overly familiar because I don't have any of them. And again, probably Slaven to win that one at home. So that's Croatia. While I run through, I'll go Bundesliga 2 and I'll go French League 2. While I'm doing that, folk can just get in the chat and let me know if there's anything particular they want to look at afterwards, and we can just jump around a wee bit.
There's an interesting one from the chat. We've got Vasilj at St. Pauli. I think they are playing, I can't remember who they're playing, but they're at home to somebody not bad, maybe like Gladbach or something, or Grabara for Wolfsburg. They're playing Bremen. Any thoughts on that goalkeeper dilemma, lads?
That's one for Harry.
What was that? Sorry, say it again.
Vasilj or Grabara this week?
I know Vasilj is at home to like a it's not a favourite. Like, you know,
Vasilj is at home at Freiburg, who just rinsed it on
Yeah,
Thursday night, and
did.
Grabara is at home to Bremen.
I think I'm going Grabara. As much as I like Vasilj, and I am actually playing my Vasilj, I don't have a Grabara personally. I think I'm going Grabara though. Yeah, Zhao says the same.
Yeah, Bremen have not got that many goals in them, I think. And I got the derby name wrong in Croatia. I don't know if it's but they definitely call that derby something big. They definitely really care about it. So don't write it off, is all I'll say. You've not got the name of it wrong. Apologies.
We'll get it right before the end of the show.
Aye.
We'll jump into Bundesliga 2, one of my favourite leagues on Sorare, because they score lots of goals and defenders and goalkeepers don't keep many clean sheets, which took me way too long to realise. Used to always have, 3 good attacking scorers and lineups, and then you're waiting for your German Bundesliga 2 defensive stack to turn up, and they very rarely do. So we start with Dusseldorf home to Hertha Berlin. At Dusseldorf, Muslija, always like him, where attacking midfielder, takes set pieces. Shinta Appelkamp kind of comes in and out of the team, and has done for the last couple of years, but he looks like he's going to start this one. Satoshi Tanaka, ex-Sanfrecce midfielder. He started his career off at Dusseldorf really strongly. I think he had like double-doubles and triple-triples in his first couple of games. So started really strongly and always a good scorer on the matrix. Oberdorf and Kastenmeier, obviously a decent stack there as well, but 70% for Kastenmeier, so maybe look into that one. As for Hertha, the main man, Fabian Rees, down to play. Paul Seguin in midfield can take set pieces from time to time. The main news here is Michael Cuisance is suspended. Hasn't been scoring very well anyway. He's actually been very frustrating Sorare-wise this year. I had him maybe first half of the season, but ended up trading him out, and looks like he hasn't done too much since. So that is that fixture. Hanover, probably one of the best fixtures in Contender this week. 68% win percentage at home to Braunschweig. Enzo Leopold, the main man in midfield here, set piece taker. You've got Big Mike Naraki at centre back. I'm probably going to captain Big Mike this weekend. We know he can't score well. Tomiak's been injured recently. Tomiak is a defender who takes penalties, but he's been out for a wee while. Good young goalkeeper here. You can obviously use in under 23 or in Contender. Trying to think who else. Those are the main ones. I think Big Mike and Enzo. I'm going to try and pair those two. As for Braunschweig, again, not a huge amount to talk about here. When Hanover, obviously, really strong favourites. Yeah. Next fixture, Karlsruhe SC, or as I like to call them, Vanacek FC. They are playing Grunter Firth. 2 teams that are not very good, really, but the home team favoured in this one. Marvin down 90% to play. Very good captain for this game week. Louis Ben Farhat's a very good young forward in this team as well. I think he had a bit of an injury this season, but he seems to be back. At Firth, Hergota is always kind of the go-to there in terms of decisives and penalties and stuff like that. Green, can't remember his first name, the American guy. He's been injured for quite a while. I think he's back in training. Yeah, Julian Green. I think he's back in training, but probably not going to start this one. So that fixture's
Quan in the midfield with one is always funny to see as well.
Yeah, do you know what? I forgot that Quan was there as well. It's mad. It's mad how many ex-Celtic guys are kicking about Contender. Probably doesn't say much about Celtic, to be fair, if they end up playing in Contender. Next up, we have Paderborn against Dresden. Obermeier is the one I always like here. Paderborn, he's hot or cold, but when he's hot, he can put up a good score. You've also got Felix Gutsa, centre back, can score quite well in the matrix. And Dennis Simon in goal as well is pretty secure. As for Dresden, pretty sure they got promoted this year. So I don't know a huge amount about them. And again, there's no names here that jump out at me from seeing them on the leaderboard or anything like that. So again, that's a Paderborn fixture anyway to build lineups with. Next up, we have Preußen Münster against Magdeburg. Magdeburg, also known as Boris Attic FC. Attic went through an incredibly hot run about a month ago for 5-6 weeks, which I'm sure you are familiar with. So he's always a really good option. Magdeburg, I also like Nollenberger, who does play as a wing back, but he does get decisives. You've also got, to be honest, stay away from the Magdeburg defense. I've had Marcus Matheson and Hugonnet listed for £4 for about 2 weeks, rares, and no one even touches it. So that tells you how well they score. They've been a disaster. Ryman's been a disaster for me for about 2 years now. Finally, I got rid of everyone that I had. Munster, again, not much to talk about here because, Magdeburg are favourites. I don't think Munster have any, major Sorare high scorers. Next up, Nuremberg are home to Kaiserslautern. Nuremberg have got quite a few guys I like. Julian Justvan, set pieces, penalties. He's gone into one of my priority lineups this weekend. He's a bit like Obermeier. He's hot and cold, but Justvan is, he's got more routes to points with the set pieces and stuff. So, like him, I also like Mohamed Zoma as a forward. He did well for me a couple of times this season. As you know, I move in and out of players all the time, so I don't actually have Zoma at the moment. Bring him in, get the points, and then hopefully get the money back or a bit more afterwards. Elsewhere for... those are the main two I would say for Nuremberg is Zoma and Justvan. For Kaiserslautern, Ritter's always an okay option.
Both the strikers are good. Berisha is a high-level player. So that's Skeeta as well. He's been quite an epic player for a while. Yes,
a good friend of mine who plays Sorare. Andrew's always on to me about Skeeta. He follows Kaiserslautern very closely and Sorare, and he's always on to me about this guy. I think he's Finnish. Good finisher. Good player and always an option. On the old Sorare platform. Lucas Search as well scores quite well. Not sure this year whether he's midfielder or defender cards. I know he's got both. So that's I think it's probably the attacking players from both of those teams that are the most attractive. And to be fair, that's kind of the case for Bundesliga 2 anyway, in terms of lots of goals in the games. Darmstadt, Schalke having a very good season. Karius is back. He missed a couple of games, but he did come back last week. I sold mine when he got injured, and I was using the backup for a wee while. So now I don't have any Schalke goalkeepers, but again, maybe that's a good thing. Kuricai is always a defender, quite like. He was at Braunschweig a couple of years ago, and then he came back to Germany. He can get goals. Schallenberg's decent in midfield. The main news here, Dzeko suspended. I think he got sent off last week. So it looks like it'll be Musa Silla that will play through the middle. Karaman is another good scorer on his day. Yeah. And then they've got ex-Aberdeen Adil Ayuchi, who's been really good actually since he went to Schalke as well. So they've got loads of good options there. Darmstadt, it's kind of usual suspects. Lidberg is pretty good. Marco Richter, I quite like as well. Hornby if he plays. Corridor as well. They're all players I like, but they won't all start. That's the problem. Goal. Yeah, so Karius looks okay. That's probably the main thing there. Becker's injured for Schalke. And Dzeko's got it says here two game straight red card. They've actually reduced it to one match, so it looks like he's only going to miss one. So it's good news if you've got Dzeko, because he's been smashing it since he went to Schalke. 2 games to go in Germany. Bochum home to Kieler Holstein. Again, probably not a huge amount here. I'll just stick them on the screen. Philip Strumpf, centre-back at Bochum's pretty decent scorer. And Steven Skribski, if he starts, is a pretty good striker. But again, 60% here. We'll skip on to Elversberg, home to Belfield. Elversberg, 52% win percentage. I've got a couple of these guys. Maximilian Rohr is one of the best defenders. Probably one of the few good defenders in the Bundesliga too.
Yeah.
Probably going to captain him this weekend. One of the teams can hit the peak scores.
The keeper's not bad too. That Christoph can do all right.
Yeah, I probably should look to get one of those actually to pair with Rohr. But again, I'm scarred for life, doubling up on German defenders.
Yeah.
I really like Bambasa Conte, but he's been injured for a wee while. He looks like he's 40% here. Just in that attacking midfield spot. So keep an eye on Conte when he's back. Maybe it's an opportunity now to pick him up maybe a bit cheaper when he's missed a couple of games. He's a very good player and can score well. As for Belfield, nothing again jumps out at me here that I'm familiar with. But yeah, again, Elversberg looking good in that matchup this weekend. Quinny, that is Bundesliga 2 done. Awesome. Want me to just jump into France?
Maybe we click through the French.
How are we doing okay time-wise?
Yeah, we're doing okay. After we'll click through the French, and then I'll kind of
Requesting.
jump on the screen and we'll run through top 5 leagues. And we're doing quite sweet for time.
Sweet, right? I'll do France a little bit quicker. Saint Etienne, obviously, always one of the favourites. 57% this weekend. A very frustrating team if you've got their players. I've got
Okay.
Davidashvili. I've got the Larson, the goalkeeper, is out at the moment. He's injured. Thankfully, I had the backup, so I'll be using the backup this week. I have also got Le Cardinal. I think I sold him yesterday. Once I see injury doubts, I just cut ties with these guys. I actually sold. I sold Nade about 2 weeks ago to get Le Cardinal, and I probably should have just kept Nade because now it looks like he's safer to play. So yeah, be careful with Le Cardinal this weekend. Seems to be an injury doubt, but the usual guys up top look pretty good. Stassen, Davidashvili. Davidashvili's been a bit better, a lot better actually last couple of weeks than he was for the first half of the season. So yeah, Saint Etienne looking good this weekend. Clermont Red Star again. I'll just very briefly stick this on the screen. Don't think there's a huge amount to go through there. Giovanni Hag can be pretty decent. Bradley Danger's a bit of a throwback for me as well. Red Star was a extremely good Sorare scorer about 2-3 years ago, but of course only has classic cards. Bastia, is Big Johnny playing? Yes, he is. Looks like he's going to play in goal. What a legend. I'd say I've bought and sold Johnny Placidi more than any other Sorare player. Every time I have him, I think, oh, he's going to retire soon. I better get rid of him, or he gets injured, or he does something stupid. But no, he's a legend, of course. Ducroc, Butra, they're all good players, but Bastia are not very good. That's the problem. Next up, we have Grenoble away. Is Jesse Benet down to play? Yes, he is. He's the main man there, of course. Right back.
Jesse Benet and Ugo Bonnet up front. Benny and Bonnie.
Benny and Bonnie didn't even catch that. Nice wee assist goal double up coming maybe for Benny and Bonnie this weekend. Yeah, Jesse Benet, one of my favorite contender midfielders. Really, really reliable. Next up, again, I'll just fly through some of these fixtures that don't have in-season cards. I might even just skip one or two here unless people are Amiens. I'll just stick him up quickly.
Yeah, if you just put it on screen for a second, if there's nothing to say.
Yeah, I'll just fly through these so people can just. I always forget about the pause factor.
Here's a question for you: is Valverde in the Madrid derby or Wirtz against Brighton?
Ooh, that's tough.
Tough because they're both coming off midweek, isn't it? Could minutes be dangerous for both players?
Imagine minutes are the same.
I suppose it's an international break, isn't it? So yeah.
At home, Madrid derby.
You go Valverde?
Yeah. No Salah for Brighton. For the Brighton game, sorry.
Is that bad?
Probably not. Actually. Probably not.
Valverde does love a big game. I think for SO5, I'm taking Valverde. It just feels a bit safer. But I think Wirtz could smash.
He could, yeah, no, for sure.
I think Wirtz is more fun, but more risky.
No, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I think I'll be on Valverde there as well.
Yeah.
Just going to click through a few there. Spartak Moscow, Barco looks good to go. I know, Quinny, I think you've got one.
I got back on the gang.
Yeah, he's always hard to resist if you don't have him.
Big time.
I'll just have a quick. We'll have a look for Shaqiri here to make sure he's in here.
I seen Shaq in earlier, I think.
Yeah, 80%. It's been quieter of late, but always an option. Any requests in the chat that I can't see for teams?
Feel free to throw them up.
I always forget this because I don't have any. But where is the championship? Is that in Contender or is that Challenger?
It's Contender nowadays. Yeah. So if there are any requests for that, we'll grab it.
Any championship requests, just let me know.
I've taken the screen off you now, Mark. So if we go back to it, we'll go back to it. But I've got Italy on here, and we'll kind of get through this in quick time. Italy is not too much often to talk about. The paper I was reading in Italy said that either De Bruyne or McTominay would start, but not both of them. But latest news, according to reports, De Bruyne is favoured to play behind the striker alongside McTominay and Gutierrez. Oh, nice. So I've got 3 Napoli players coming out the woodwork all of a sudden. So I'll have a wee bit of deadline drama there. Away to Cagliari. Not a great game, but halfway usable. Juve Sassuolo on screen here. Have you guys get much going on champ-wise? Champ Classic, anything like that?
What's champ?
Come on now.
I genuinely don't think I have any.
Really, no champ
No,
cards?
I mean, my work's obviously all FPL related, so I keep it separate. I like the escape to Sorare away from all that stuff, so I don't bother with Prem or any of that stuff. Obviously, the champ stuff's always been more expensive as well, so I like fishing in waters that I wouldn't usually fish in. Usually don't catch anything, but I try.
I love that. That makes complete sense, though.
Yeah, totes. I've heard you speak on that before, but yeah, just surprised you did not get any wee pieces or anything. That's funny. Even
the only odd little piece I have is MLS, because I live in Houston in Scotland, and my brother-in-law is called Jack McGlynn.
Wow.
Not the Jack McGlynn. Not the
That
Jack
is
McGlynn.
nuts, though.
So I had to buy a Houston stack, just a limited stack this season, and I just captain Jack McGlynn every week. And I was just doing it for a bit of fun, and then I crafted Heung-Min Son the first week off the back of it, and I broke even right away, first game week.
wow.
Sold Son, and yeah, I think I won maybe $20-$30 last week on the leaderboard, maybe like top 20, top 30 or something like that. So yeah, it's just a bit of fun, just living in Houston and having Jack McGlynn as captain. He actually looks like him as well, which is very odd.
No way.
It's a real McGlynn family resemblance in.
Yeah, long lost cousin.
Has he got left foot like him or what?
No, he's got no feet. My brother-in-law's got no feet. Not that he doesn't. He does have feet, just to be clear, but he doesn't have footballing feet. But yeah, Jack McGlynn. There must be some Irish in there somewhere. If only we could get him converted.
On Transfermarkt, he is half Irish, but I think he's been capped by America.
I think there was talk a couple of years ago that they were maybe in contact with him to try and get him, but he just looked at the Irish squad and said, "Nah, it's all right, thanks."
I know they just took Kevin O'Toole, and there was somebody else, like Berhalter might be half Irish or something, by the way. There's another player that's in the league that's, again, if you look at Transfermarkt, it's somebody good like Berhalter, but somebody else up at that level that's maybe dual national potential, if they're not capped already.
We could certainly do with a few outsiders coming in.
Yeah, we've clicked through Italy. I'm halfway through France, so if you're after this stuff, you only need to just have a wee pause and rewind. As we're just kind of skating through these ones. Yeah, it's the last weekend of sets as well. I know Harry's not really played it, but what about you, Mark? Have you been setting and doing your wee daily grind on free packs?
Yeah, to be fair, I say I don't play champ or prem or anything like that, but what I did was set was just clicked in every day and opened a pack, but I just stuck to Premier League guys. I didn't bother with France or Spain or anything, so I just give those cards back for the points or whatever. And yeah, ended up collecting most Premier League players, just playing it. I did buy a couple of gems, but not many. But always end up forgetting at the weekend to put the teams in. I know you're going for your $100 this weekend, so good luck with that. But yeah, I've enjoyed just clicking in, and it's just that whole nostalgic factor of opening a pack. I think we all like opening packs, no matter what it is. A pack of crisps or a pack of Sorare cards. There's something about it. So yeah, I'll probably end up giving the next one a go as well, and maybe take it a bit more seriously.
We're on to Bundesliga now. Yeah, I think I felt that with one of the other free-to-play modes. I can't remember which one it was, but I didn't really take it too seriously. And then they went for a second iteration of it or something, and then I did better the second time.
Rivals,
might have been Rivals. Yeah, might have been. There was some element to it where I kept dropping the ball on being it might have been Rivals, like tapping in at the weekend to hit like a win streak or something, or I can't remember how the mechanism worked with the payouts or whatever. But yeah, I kind of dropped the ball on it. Yeah, so we're at Germany now, by the way, just for anyone that's after this. Danny Da Costa, by the way. By the way, I was so close to having I bought an Andy Irvine, right, in season. He's a Scottish card, right? He's at Sparta Prague. He's a West Ham player. He just got brought into the Scotland team. I bought him for £1.50. And then the novelty of him, I was like, I'll just stick him in my wee Europa League team. My goalkeeper was Paul Lopez, clean sheet against Panathinaikos. My defender was Danny Da Costa. I don't know if you've seen his score against Sigma Olomouc last night, but it was 100 before he gets subbed off. I then had in midfield captain Daichi Kamada, 120 minutes of AA and a decisive, which was lovely. And then up front, I had Borja Sainz for Porto, brought in a 65 with a decisive. Ooh. Andy Irvine was my fifth man, brought in a 35. Oh. Do you know who was on the bench instead?
Go on.
I'll give you a hint.
John McGinn.
Yep. Wasn't projected to play, starts the game and scores. I finished 24th. I'm going to get some credits, like 30 quid or something. But I'm again would have thrown me right up there to like £100 or something. So anyway, Danny DaCosta's a legend. But raging, I bought that Andy Irvine. And I don't know how many times I've bought somebody, played them and regretted it. And I had someone better that dropped out of the team for the guy I just bought. Even if it's a cheap guy or an expensive guy, I've just been bit by that so many times now.
That's so rare, Connie, in case you haven't realised yet.
Yeah, totally is, man. Augsburg, Stuttgart's on screen. It totally is, man. Yeah, buying a guy, selling a guy, dropping a guy. You will make the wrong decision.
Guaranteed.
Not buying the guy, they'll score 100. You know, it's just out there, isn't it? Wolfsburg, Werder Bremen's there as well. And I think we're doing okay for time. I was a wee bit worried I might have left Champ a little bit neat, but I think we'll get through it quite nicely. So there's not too much to say about some of these clubs. I think a lot of the league dynamics of the big leagues, there's only a few teams in title races. There's only a few of them in relegation fights. Everyone's just kind of getting on with it at this point. Heidenheim taking on Maza, Alias Garcia as well. Tim Orman. I got this guy. I won his super rare last year when he was at Bochum. Very good defender. German youth international. Went on loan to Sturm Graz this year. Must have been recalled. They must fancy him because they're playing him. So there's a wee cheap defender maybe out there for somebody if they needed it. Bayern Munich take on Union Berlin. I think this was the top game of the weekend. Harry Kane on fire. Leonard Kral been brought into the Germany team as well for this international window. Big LG Goretzka is back in town. Jonas Urbig. No need for 16-year-old goalkeepers. Jonas Urbig's back fit and available. Played the midweek and will be playing this weekend. And they're taking on Union Berlin. Team is there. Good luck to all the Bayern stacks. Leipzig Hoffenheim. This is going to be what? 4-4, 5 each? How many goals do we think happen in this one?
I think this is tonight as well, you know. So a little Friday night, 4-4 or something. Yeah, that could be fun.
Gruda, my new signing. He's into play, thank God. If he plays.
Gruda's in, yeah.
And
I don't know what to do with my Gruda. I looked on Liga Inside and they don't seem to fancy him.
50-50 they have him, yeah.
Yeah.
Stoger and Rocco back in for me against Cologne. And then the final one. This is actually, I thought it should have been higher in the matchups tab. I don't know where it was, Harry. But Dortmund at home to Hamburg feels like a very good Dortmund game.
Should be, yeah. Yeah.
So I think. Hard team to predict. Lots of 60s and 50s, but I thought that was a good fixture at home. And we then get to La Liga. Sevilla, Valencia, a bit of a South Coast clash here. Ruben Vargas is maybe back, Harry. You'll be happy to hear.
Yeah, I can't see. If I had a third team, he'd definitely play. But yeah, I don't know. I might fit him into like an all-star or a little cap situation.
Yeah. Betis qualified. Betis got through Europa League midweek. They're high as a kite. They're taking on Athletic Club. And then let's see how that one goes. Rotations, the goalkeepers and whatnot. It's Elche at home to Mallorca. Elche doing quite well this week and doing lineup building and such last night. The boy Febas, I think it was, might be one of the best midfielder picks on paper for the weekend in La Liga. Just because of some of the other rotations in the fixtures where they're everywhere else. Osasuna Girona is on the screen here. Axel Witzel's a defender card. Onani's not particularly great. Yeah, midfielders are quite tough in a lot of leagues, but particularly in La Liga this weekend. Real Madrid take on Atleti. Somebody like Valverde could rinse, obviously, so could Guler. None of these guys are too cheap. And Atleti don't really have any good midfield options of their own. Maybe Llorente if he does deliver, but in these games he doesn't tend to, if I'm honest. They could just party poop, so there's not really any strong midfield candidates anywhere. Mbappe seems to be back for this spot. That'll be big.
Yeah, feels like out of nowhere, that, doesn't it, a little bit? I know he came on midweek maybe, but...
Levante Oviedo. Harry, how do you feel about this one?
I know, literally both my defensive stacks going up against each other. I kind of favour the home team Levante slightly. But yeah, obviously I had to split them both up. I mean, 0-0 would be absolutely perfect here, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Clean sheet fest.
Yeah, clean sheet fest. 80s all around, and everyone goes home happy,
Yeah. Barca versus Rayo. This was the second top game of the matchup tab. Ferran Torres on to start. Danny the man Olmo. But it's all about Rafi these days. It's all about Rafi. He has been slaying it. It's that time of year where if you have some good form now before the World Cup, it's especially with Champions League and stuff like that. He could be right back into that Ballon d'Or contention by the end of the year. So Ronaldo Araujo looks to play. João Cancelo is looking to play. Joan Garcia gets subbed off injured midweek, but the medical reports say he's fine, and it looks like he'll probably play this one. Wouldn't be surprised. He is fine and available, but I just wouldn't be surprised, because...
Did you, you wouldn't have saw it, but I actually bought the Chesney Unique midweek on that news.
Ooh.
Classic
Good
Unique
price.
for it was like 170 quid. I thought people were buying the Super Rare Classic for like 60s. I was like, you know what? I couldn't get one of those in time. I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it. Because I saw they had a good home fixture next. It was known that Garcia would be out for 3 weeks. I was like, it's better than no weeks, right? I could play him this weekend at minimum. News comes out, Garcia's fully fine next morning, medical report. I'm like, so I sold him to Pavel. I lost like 100 quid on him. Yeah, not ideal, obviously, but
You'll make it back this weekend, though.
Hopefully, but it was a risk I not had to take, but I thought, worth kind of taking had Garcia been out for longer, but yeah, can't win them all.
Indeed. Jerry Moreno's back. I would have thought maybe try and keep him in case he plays. Just have him listed on the market in case anyone's like, oh, Chesney.
Yeah, I don't know. I just shit myself, to be fair. I probably should have. I don't know. I just pooed my pants.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then we're on to the last one. We're on to the big one, the Prem. We've got Fulham versus Burnley. This feels like a decent game for Fulham.
Yeah, it's one of the better matchups, isn't it?
Harry Wilson time.
Harold Wilson ready to take us to the promised land of the World Cup. It will be, a couple of scores there. It will be Wilson, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Big
Raul Jimenez leading the line. Everton Chelsea feels like a bore fest. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know if I like João Pedro, Enzo, obviously Cole, Sanchez back in. I don't know. Chelsea could be sneaky there. Pickford had an error last week, didn't he? I think. Garner just got back into the England side.
Yeah.
Having a great season.
Yeah, he's really good.
Aye, scores have been off the charts, haven't they?
Yeah.
Leeds and Brentford, two kind of surprise teams of the season. Like, I had Brentford rock bottom. I think a lot of people did. I seen that Brentford actually played it in their stadium. The weekend just gone. Everyone's pre-season predictions for them, like all the famous people, like streamers and TV shows and whatever, saying Brentford for bottom, Brentford are doomed and all that. So yeah, both of them doing quite well in their own way. Teams are on screen there. It's been a big story of Thiago. Oh, looks like my boy Nemeka is going to play. That's fun. Big Lucas.
Yeah, tough place to go on Leeds.
Maybe the biggest game of the weekend: Newcastle versus Sunderland.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Any thoughts on this, Mark?
Yeah, fancy Newcastle on this one. I'm going to be bringing Anthony Gordon into my FPL team in a couple of hours' time. So, yeah, I like them. Sunderland haven't been scoring very many goals recently. So, again, defensively, I like Malik Chow and Lewis Hall as well. So, yeah, I think it'll be a Magpies victory.
Did you see Barca Newcastle midweek?
I only caught the highlights.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought they looked all right, Newcastle, but I wonder psychologically coming away from that how they feel, because they get absolutely rinsed. Once it got going, it got going. But they did all right. Hall looked the part. Ramsey and Tonali looked the part. Elanga looked the part. They were decent. It wasn't like a 7-0, whatever I can't remember the score now, but Barca they just tore them up.
I think Tonali is a major doubt for this one. I think he went off with a hip issue midweek, so he's a bit dodgy. Obviously, be a big miss with Bruno's not back until after international break, so they're a bit light in the middle at the moment.
Yeah, could be the difference for Sunderland. No midweek game for them either, of course. Bournemouth at home at Man United. El Karoupi's been getting all sorts of headlines. They've got a bit about them, Bournemouth. It feels like Man United have kind of woken up but in the last couple of months. Under this is a Friday night game as well, by the way, under Michael Carrick. So Mbeumo, Bruno, Cunha and Diallo. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I have fans who have been enjoying the last couple of weeks. Bruno's been on it as much as he's ever been. So, I mean, anyone who's using him, he's probably your go-to captain this weekend. And Mbuemo's been quiet in terms of goals, but I think that'll come soon, hopefully tonight. And yeah, Krippy's been so good for Bournemouth. He was obviously a contender boy last year, so I was familiar with his game. So yeah, good to see him doing well in the Premier League.
Yeah, big prospect. I remember Bournemouth had to really fight for his signature, and it was like a super early signing last year. So yeah, good to see he's hit the ground running and like realising his potential and such. No Salah, like Harry mentioned before, but Rio and Gumu, or whatever his name is, and for Levy v Brighton. Ekitike Gakpo, Gravenberch scored well midweek, if memory serves. Soboslai at right back, Works in the cam. And this is like a vintage Brighton team, isn't it? Welbeck, Gross, Milner, Hinshelwood, Dunk. We've got all the hallmarks of some Brightonness happening at the weekend.
Yeah, could be a good time to play Liverpool after they obviously put a lot into the Galatasaray fixture. No Salah. Yeah, Karioglu's one I've been really impressed with this season. Really attacking from whether he plays left back or right back. I quite like him. Don't know if he scores overly well in Sorare, but he's always got he's decisive, capable. That's for sure.
Have they played much Ferdy and Weaver together? So I don't think I've seen this very often. That feels like cheat code if they can master that.
I think
it's like two centre mids, basically.
Weaver does get a lot of game time, so I think they have been both in the 11.
Yeah, that's quite funky, by the way.
It's a really interesting team that, like with those as fullbacks, like they're 30s, like he's played centre mid so much as well in his career. Like it's really funky.
Tottenham dumped out the Champions League they really gave a good shot. I watched the Tottenham game that night. I didn't watch, what was the other one that was on? Was it maybe Liverpool or something? I wanted to watch Igor Tudor and whatnot. Forest rotated like mad last night, basically thrown in the towel was the news that came out with the team sheet. So both teams off of a midweek kind of jousting session. Both of them very much need the points in the league as well. Good luck picking a winner here. It feels like maybe Tottenham have got a wee bit more bounce in them after, like, Xavi Simons scored a screamer against Atleti, and although they got eliminated, they kind of gave as good as they got.
Just on Tottenham there, on my timeline, I'm seeing some doubts over Vicario. So I don't know how reliable it is, but go have a look at that if you're planning to use him this weekend. There seems to be some reports coming out of Italy about him being doubtful, so go check that one out.
Top shout. And then the final one we've got in the Prem is Villa versus West Ham. Ollie Watkins versus Tate. McGinn Esta's back in. Jadon Sancho played his best game in a Villa shirt, in the words of John McGinn last night. Might be the beginning of something there for him. Barkley and Onana in the engine room. Matias Fernandez, the AA magnet that he is on to play also. And yeah.
Watkins not in the England squad?
Oh, I don't think I noticed that. Interesting. He's been kind of rubbish this year, hasn't he? In and out the team and not really too prolific.
It's not nice reading that team if you're Watkins and you're seeing Solanke and Calvert-Lewin getting the nod.
Totally. I know you need to run, Mark, at some point. Do you want to show us one or two of your lineups before you head off?
Yeah, I can do that. I'll boost in about 5 minutes' time. Do I need to hit
your
screen
back
share
on?
again? Oh, cool.
No.
I can show you what I am cooking for the weekend.
You might need to press a wee button that will say share this tab instead. You might need to do that. But otherwise, yeah.
All good now?
Yeah. And
perfect. Right, start with Challenger. I have big collections of Hearts, Motherwell, and Celtic. I've got 2 Division 1 entries, and I trust these teams more than I trust my own team. I'm sure you're the same, Quinny. It's been a tough season for us. Motherwell are my favourite team in the league. I actually listened to their manager today on Open Goal from a couple of days ago. Highly recommend.
So good.
So good.
Oh my God.
I want them running Celtic next season. One of the best podcasts I've listened to for ages. Really fascinating character. So I'm going to back Motherwell this weekend, as I always do. Captain Elliot Watt in that one. And then the Hearts stack, Mark Leonard, central midfielder. Devlin and Shanklin are very close to being back and might even be back this weekend. I think regardless, Leonard will keep his place in the team. So that is my 2 top Challenger lineups. I'll go to Contender. Then I'll just quickly show you K-League as well. I haven't even built any J-League teams yet. We've got the later deadline. I'm trying to sell them all before the deadline. That's the problem. 2 Division 1 entries in Contender as well. The first lineup I built is the Davidashvili lineup. I've got the backup goalkeeper there from Saint Etienne as well. Maximilian Rohr, Marvin Vanacek, and Zach from Zagreb. My only dilemma there was, do I captain Marvin Friday night, 5:30 kickoff, which is very soon, or stick with the initial plan of the good Zagreb fixture? So I think I'll just leave it as it is. Usually we know what happens on a Friday, so I'll just let Marvin do for now. And the other team I quite like as well, I needed an in-season goalkeeper, so I brought in Timo Horn this week. I shouldn't really buy German goalkeepers, but I've gone and done it. Nazraoui, good fixture for Istra. The main man, Ezekiel Barco, captain. Mitrovic, hopefully from Decisives and AA. And then Just Fan, good home fixture as well. So that's Contender Division 1. And I'll finish up with the K-League. I've got 4 K-League teams for streaks, and I've got 2 in leaderboard. But I'll just run through these streak ones because that's what I'm prioritizing. I always build my 4 streak teams, and then whatever's left goes in the leaderboard. So on streak 2,
Nice.
which seems like a mountain decline, but it's got some good players here. Mateus Oliveira will get the armband in one of these teams. I've got a bit of a Pohang stack going on there with one of the Bujanic in here as well. Park Jang-yong, he'll get the armband coming back from suspension. And then Klamala, Kim Jin-soo, bit of a soul thing going on here. Babic is a soul midfielder as well.
Nice.
Good goalkeeper there. Ludwigsen, who should start this one. And the final team is the legend that is Yunbit, captain in Bujanic in this one. Ulsan, defensive stack, and Juninho, who I've liked so far this season as well. So there's a couple of teams. And yeah, hopefully going to sell a few more bits and pieces from J League before the 6 o'clock deadline.
Buzz. Nice teams, man, for sure.
It's been an absolute pleasure, lads. It's like I say, I've been watching
some debut, mate.
Unbelievable.
I'm trying to think of who. A lot of players make terrible debuts, but hopefully this is a bit better.
A lot better.
Pleasure, lads. Watch religiously every Friday. I always say my weekend starts at 1 o'clock when the music kicks in on the deadline stream. Absolute pleasure, lads, and hopefully this has been helpful to people. And hopefully see some of you on the leaderboard. And Harry in particular, hope you smash it this weekend, mate. I've no doubt you will. There's no one better to be in this position. So don't forget us when you're very rich next week.
I've already pre-ordered my private jet.
I'll give you some good prices on my K-League cards.
I appreciate that, mate. Nice little entry for me.
Take it easy, lads. Quinny, have a good one, mate.
You too, mate. Have a great one.
All the best, lads.
Take care, Mark.
Best,
Thanks
mate.
again.
Bye.
Legend. That was flipping unbelievable.
And for anyone just catching Mark for the first time, again, all of his channels and everything are linked in the description down below. Be sure to go and check them out. I'm just scrambling together because I just remembered about McTominay and De Bruyne. So I'm just scrambling out a last-minute team before the champ deadline. I've just thrown out a little limited under 23 because I've got a Sinisalo line around. And I've used the Miguel for there. I might pull that apart because did I put De Bruyne in it? I did. I actually put them in a limited team already. So I've got.
Would you go Negren or would you go Kizaridis as my forward?
I would go Negren.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Negren's like multi-decisive for me.
Yeah, I'm quite high on him, to be fair. I just thought Kizaridis at home. I know he hasn't really been doing it, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm going to put the Napoli boys in here.
I tell you what, that was some debut by a contender. If anyone else ever comes on to do a segment, they've got a lot to live up to because that was unbelievable stuff.
High bar been set.
Unbelievably high.
Big time. Right, I've just about fixed that.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was very, very impressive.
I'm just going to fix this, Harry Boy, and then you can show us some. Oh, Kang's going to play. Oh my God, when did that happen?
Go on, the Kang.
Oh, I need to get Kang in a team. And Mukiele's going to play. What? Let's just put.
It's all happening late on.
It is all happening late on. Oh, yeah, I need to swap that all black for Musso because that's not going to be the way that goes. Who did I just notice, Harry? Who did I just notice? I've got Kang. Captain Kang. Oh, look at this, Harry. I made our team full of fullbacks, but I put Lewandowski up front.
That's amazing.
On our fullback team. Kang. Right, where do we want Kang, Harry?
Is De Bruyne back?
Yeah, I've put De Bruyne in.
Instead of Berardi, maybe? 60% Berardi or no?
Yeah, Berardi 60. Yeah, maybe
away
drop
to Juve. Tough game.
Caicedo. Let's drop Caicedo. Or, I don't know.
Got to keep Caicedo, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's just that I think Kang's punchy.
Yeah, but he's got to be punchier than Berardi away to Juve.
You think so?
Tough game. Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, he's not even nailed, is he? 60%. What's all that about? We're talking like Juve here. Like, it's not as if he's playing scrubs, you know? Yeah, they've got him. I mean, it's not a great game, is it, if we're being honest, even if he does play. Like, that's not to say he can't score or something, but Kang against Nice. It's 100 there, Quinny, waiting.
Right, okay. And so then where do we slide Berardi? Limited? Ooh.
In with that De Bruyne maybe or something? Was that the last line?
I'll probably just put him in here over Lewandowski.
Fair. Another
Simon,
fullback.
yeah, that's it. Captain the fullback team.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm set now. Oh no, Frimmers. Oh my Jimmy's. 2 days, 2 minutes. Frimmers, Mukiele, Starfelt. I'm going to go Starfelt because I think Mukiele's just a bit dodgy. And then do I have another one to catch? Lionheart. I think I'll just leave that anyway. It's a limited team. Oh, Jimmy's. Right, Harry boy, shows what you've got cooking. We've got 2 minutes to go.
Jumping Jimmy's. Okay, a little bit of Prem as usual, just the Leeds boys and a few
Trusty is
stragglers.
dodgy. Trusty's not been pictured in training as well. So, like,
And Arthur did the thing, didn't he?
Arthur did yeah. So Tierney and Scales are the only reliables.
Yeah. So what I've got for the Liga right now, Quinny. Levante defensive stack with Blind, and then Blanco and Yamal.
Nice.
I'm back in this the Celta Vigo boys. I know it's only 60% here for Aspas, but they reckon came off the bench yesterday and he had a bit of the guy who normally starts for, I don't know what his name is, but he looks dodgy. So it could be Aspas time this weekend against Alaves, which would be nice. Oviedo defensive stack. I'm leaving out a few good players, like not playing my Fornals, for example, not playing my Aymar. But yeah, Fornal's coming off a midweek. A few bits to consider there. Fifth streak in Eredivisie, obviously. Joey Veerman looks suspect, so I've played him in my fourth team just in case he does play, as a bit of a hedge. Manager hasn't ruled him out, which makes me hopeful of something, but not good enough to creep into these first three sides. So yeah, his PSVs, his NECs, and his Spartas and whatever. So yeah, fifth streak potentially there. Obviously the MLS boys. I mean, again, if things come out on the injury report, then I'll obviously change things. But yeah, you got the Messi down there, Dryers, and all sorts, doubling ups, and all that jazz.
Is there not a way you can get
boys.
Messi and Dryer in a team together?
Yeah, I could just play him instead of Evander here, which I might do. Like I just play Berhalter down here, Evander comes out for Messi. Could do it.
It feels like Messi and Dryer is kind of the move for Streak 5. Not that I know
Yeah.
anything about it, Harry. You are the
No,
expert.
I mean, if Messi was at home, I'd be a little bit more like, oh my
fair
God,
enough.
let's just
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's just not easy. Not that anything's easy, but I'm sure you'll do fine. But I've kept the away boys here together is basically my thinking.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Wilhelm
That's nice.
could just smash. Yeah, Messi could smash, but that away situation freaks me out a bit. Streak 2 for me in Challenger. Only one D1 sadly, but obviously Motherwell boys, a little bit of St. Mirren and random Danish boys and Austrian lads. Motherwell stack with Negren, little
Nice.
Benfica situation. Otamendi's a bit dodgy, so I'm not playing him in my best one, but it is what it is. A couple of D2s. Champ, I've got 3 D1s, Quinny and Champ. Don't ask me
Nice.
how, because I've never really won any cards. I win Essence, but I don't really I never punch. But yeah, a couple of decent sides. Lens tonight, sorry. There's the Vasilj. We'll
Top team's
see.
nice.
Yeah, I do like the look of this. This one's decent as well. If Cancelo maybe plays, a couple of Wilsons flying about as usual. Under 23 secondary sides probably won't do too much, but I'm quite happy with the first one. Big Jack McGlynn, Sorare contenders, long lost brother. Really happy with my D1 under 23, but that's my only D1, which is a bit frustrating. A couple of nice teams flying about, and then a couple of all stars. One, I should have 2 D1s after the midweek. But yeah, other than that, I've got my MLS leaderboard lineups in Super Rare. So I mentioned I got that Shaloy in to go with Georgie, and I brought a Christian Capis unique this week, Quinny, off
Wow.
Pranksy. Pranksy crafted a Capis. I don't know if you know too much about him, but like American, played in like Scandinavia for 6 years. Little weird situation.
I'm familiar with his name. I think like Americans
yeah.
have maybe spoke about him for a while. It's like, I don't know, but I recognise his name without knowing who he is. So
Like I don't even know if he ever actually played in MLS, but he's just always been a Scandi boy. Like he must have moved there early and just, sort of hovered around Sweden's and all those things. And then obviously the New York boys in here. Sad I can't get my Mark Cowan,
Yeah.
because of the classic freeze. But, Trewin's Trewin.
What about if you got? Oh yeah, the unique is just like a gameplay, isn't it? Anyway, unique counts as in season, doesn't it?
Yeah, technically.
I was gonna say, could you drop Maxi for Marcow? But yeah, you can.
I could drop Georgie for Marcow and play Marcow here. Obviously, not the same team, but that's
Yeah.
that'd be the only way around it, basically. I could no, I couldn't. I couldn't do two. I was thinking, yeah, no, but that's and I've got two little all star 220s to go. So yeah, exciting. Obviously, we still got a lot of things that can change, but we are locked into Eredivisie, Challenger, and obviously the All Stars. So
All the biggies.
yeah, all the big ones. I'm excited, mate.
This is kind of what
Show us
I've
what you
managed to
got.
finish up with. Sociedad is tonight, so we'll just save the pain that won't furrow from there. This is the organic Bundesliga thing. I won a 4 nows off the leaderboard the other day.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I got that. My Harvey Barnes, who's now definitely not going to be Scottish at any point in the future. And I wrapped them up together and turned them into Gruda. Had to think I put £3 together too, but it's just fits the collection. I needed another forward. Otherwise, everything else is kind of like rewards and such. Gruda's a traded reward, like the 4 now, so it's still kind of in that organic kind of vibe that I'm enjoying there. And I've got 3 streak teams. The 4th team I put into leaderboard this week. So I've got 2 Ojedas, I've got 2 Wolves, I've got 2 Parks, I've got 2 O'Neills, I've got 2 O'Tools, got 2 almost of everyone except for Marcow, Trewin, and that Morales, I think. So I've got those 3. I'll show you in the leaderboard. I ended up that's where I put Werner, but I also went Captain Magno. I've got Aidan O'Neill, Sean Johnson, and then the only defender I had left was Raul Gustavo.
You'll play somehow, won't you? You'll get on.
Yeah. 500 entrants in the leaderboard. For this to be interesting to me, top 200, I'll be happy with that, really.
Yeah. Nick a bit of
Does
essence.
any better than obviously jamming. But I thought I'll try that this week for Team 4. Just toss it in there. I might come to regret that, but that's how I left it. And then for Charlie, I've got 1 D1. Now, I had fun doing this, Harry. It was actually quite frustrating today when I was worried about Trusty and other bits, Araujo. But I've got D1. So that was the first team I picked. Captain KT, Butez, Elijah Just, Ajal Begovic, and Negren.
Nice.
The second team I built was D1 Limited, because it pays better than D2 Rare. So I built this team second. I went KT, Scales, Rio, and Yang, just all kind of safe. And if we win, we win. So that was the second team. I then went and built 2 rare D2s. So I built a Celtic team here with the classic Rio midfielder. And then I did a kind of bomb squad, just good individuals. I've got a Finlay Curtis forward card because he's in the Scotland squad. Nice. The only forward cards he has is these early access ones, which means I need to stare at this badge for as much as I
was
own
going
him.
to say, yeah. Can you rub out the badge?
Yeah, not a fan of that. So we'll see. I was going to captain him because I was like, he's in the Scotland team. They're at home at Livy. Maybe he's just buzzing. But then I was like, yeah, I can't really captain him. So I captained Justin Janssen instead. But then after that, Harry, I built D2 Limited next. Because that pays out better than D3 Rare. So I only had one of them. So I put in the Porto stack with Braga and Sinisalo. I then threw in, this team kind of get relegated. So Chvanchara, Donovan, McGregor, Ox, just put them in. If they play cool, nobody's going to lose any sleep. And then I finally have 2 D3 Limiteds, which are the very bottom of the run of the ladder here. The Motherwell boys find themselves here. I know you're going to chin me for that.
How is Callum Ward your last but one keeper?
I don't know. I fancy Sinisalo, Trubin, Sinisalo, Butez.
Fine. I'd have him ahead of Trubin personally, just because of Benfica are weird. Like, they're just strange. Ward at home.
Yeah. Hibs are pushovers though. They're not. Celtic.
No, yeah, they're a good team. I'm only pulling your leg a bit, to be fair, but I think it'll be tight, really tight.
Yeah, I think so too. But I thought this is a strong team, man. Just Jamie Lawrence, Welsh. Yeah, let's go for it. And then the last one, Stuart Armstrong's playing Rangers, so I made him captain. Lincoln is playing Sporting. His team is like 10th, so like, whatever. And DC for Como is meant to play. It doesn't say well here. So again, it's just a scraps team at the bottom. Okay. I've got a Zagreb stack all of a sudden in here. I won that Zouch. I tried to swap him for a Fenerbahce card. I don't know if you've seen this on the channel, Harry. But everyone's opened their packs now, so there's only like 2 Fenerbahces left, and they're owned by Fenerbahce collectors. So I'm just going to run this for the end of the season until he's classic and then punt him or whatever. But classic Bakrar is the classic card here. Jiku and the Fenerbahce thing is at Spartak Moscow with Barco now. So there's a kind of fun thing on the go here. Again, not really hold my breath on it. 1D1 in classic champs. So this is the only team I kind of cared about building. Magic Mike, Rom, Galan, Leimer, Olmo, Soboslai, Rafi captain.
Strong, really strong.
Yeah. Leipzig midfield is fun. Yeah, fullbacks are fullbacks and whatever. The rest of the stuff you see me just messing about with. Under 23, I've went captain Javi Simons after the banging midweek he had.
Love it.
Otherwise, yeah, whatever. And then I've got 2 D1s in All-Stars, probably the last interesting thing to show. The Celtic defence, Bane and goals, and then the 4 of death, Wanizek, Nakamura, Barco, Shaqiri.
Jesus.
And then the other one, Navas is at home, which is always pretty good. Quatra, Naroki in defence. And then Rusnak, Tommy Muller, Captain Neymar, and CR7, the original.
That's fun.
And then this one, D2, I've managed to get blah, 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 other cards. They're pretty fun. I put an NYC team with Magno in it. I just think Magno, didn't want to say it. Let's see how it goes. But see if Magno started over Wolf at the weekend, I would not be surprised.
No, neither would I.
One bit at all.
The issue is they're going to need to work hard against Miami, and Wolf does do a lot of hard work. Now,
great point.
That would just be the only thing I would say. But yeah, they need a number 9, and Magno's the closest thing to it. So if he thinks they need a number 9, he's going to play. Like, that's just a fact. So yeah, interesting one though. Wouldn't surprise me, like you just said.
Celtic Bad Batch team was kind of fun. 3 defenders and whatever. The Messi giveaway team's got some fun players around them. Danulic is back.
Yeah.
Ueda, RDP, McGrath. Some fun players there, you know.
That's fun.
Mika. Yeah. And then the very last team is like an NYC fringe team. It's just the kind of dregs of this collection, essentially. So,
love it.
A bucket of teams, man.
Loads of teams.
Absolute bucket. And we're firmly in the deadline. We're 10 minutes past it. Good luck to everyone. Harry, we're all... And guys, this is really what the like button should be for. If you've not done so already, you need to transmit your luck through to Harry Boy here. We need to do it. We should have been probably chanting that much longer in the show. I'm sorry for that. But we need to push all the
ritual. Shouldn't have waited. Should have done like an MLS like ritual or something.
And if you've watched this after we've been live, and if you want to just push it over the edge, go and check Harry's video that went out earlier today and drop a like and a comment on that as well. It's a good way of just filling some more luck into the internet for us, you know.
100%. And don't think there won't be a massive giveaway of some sort if I even hit, one of the 5th streaks.
Totes.
Especially for the deadline. We'll do it next Friday. We'll do a massive giveaway, and I mean massive.
Get the likes in, guys. Go find Harry's video, like and subscribe over there too. And with Sorare Contender as well. Thanks to Mark for making his debut. It's went down an absolute treat.
Yep.
And good luck, everyone.
All the best, mate. Yeah, and all the best to everyone in the chat. Appreciate all the good lucks, and yeah, hope you all smash it. Come on.
Won the Harry.